Hey, welcome to Jam Unleashed. It is 1:02 a.m., January 31st, Eastern Standard Time, and the year is 2000 on Dynasty with me. I just wanted one thing here to get rid of it, possible, and then our audio should be good, and we'll get started right away. There we go. And if you guys hear some grinding in the background, there's actually because we've had so much snow, there's a snow blower going by, pumping snow into a dump truck. Okay, I think we should be good to go. Are you with us, Neil? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you very much, sir. How are you doing up there in Coldville?
It's been we had a really cold snap. We've got Scrog and C4 Attack in the house. Hey C4T and Scrog. I wanted to highlight what's going on here in the silver market, especially because we've had a massive surge over the last 9 months, and then a wicked smackdown today, Friday. We did see a good recovery. Neil and I were talking backstage a bit before, so we don't agree on everything, but we kind of see and hear where each other's coming from. It turns out Neil was also on one of my previous live streams and actually pretty much called this. Do you want to elaborate on that, Neil?
Yeah. As I was doing research, because I don't really follow charts, I've always said charts are a past tense thing, but it's history that you look at to see a possible future. And I've been looking at the last precious metals bull runs to see what's going on. And I discovered that in my study of charts, there's a pattern. The charts goes the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern, and all of them are pretty much similar if you can chart it properly. And a friend of mine at Good Morning Stackers was doing it out for all of us to see, and he and I both agreed that we thought silver would only go up to 110 and then drop back to the 80ish range, but it actually shot up like 120, 121, and then fell back to the 80ish range. And I had mentioned that, and actually 2 days ago I sold some silver for like 110, $111 in anticipation of a crash like this. And I have to say, this is actually the first time in YouTube history that I've been on YouTube where you can use the term silver crashed and it's not just 30 cents down.
Mm. Now, it doesn't look like that in this chart here because this is monthly. And because we're on the weekend here right now, the markets are closed, so you won't see any movement. But when we move it back to the weekly candles, you'll see. So this last red candle is the entirety of trading this week. And when you look over here, when I hover over that red candle, you'll see open, high, low, and close. And so for this past week, thing I wanted to highlight is the high was $121.67 and the low was 73. That is almost a 50% drop from the peak right to the bottom.
Yeah, I was going to say like 45%.
Yeah. Now it did bounce back and it closed at 85.18, which is actually really quite the return if you were able to buy in right at the very low, which was right around here.
No one was selling for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've already seen a couple of YouTube videos, and they were like the cheapest you could, or the cheapest you could get it when it was down. They had added an extra premium below 80, which basically the cheapest you'd have to spend $85 to have gotten it at 74.3 because of the premium they added on it when it went below a certain number. Because what you got to think of is the business of the silver market and how much money the actual people who are in the business of buying and selling precious metals would lose in a scenario like that. So they do like premiums to protect themselves for those financial losses on heavy swings.
Yeah. Thanks, Indy. Good to see you. Indy's actually doing a backstage where they're watching a movie and discussing it. She does that usually on the um, Friday nights. Thanks for stopping by. That's very cool that we had Indy stop by. We've got Zardoz in the house. We've got Snooks. Welcome in, everybody. We just wanted to do a bit of a recap because we've had some wicked volatility in the silver price market. I'm not concerned at all as long as you look long term. And I also wanted to highlight, if you hear anyone say, "Oh, I just got wiped out," I lost the family farm on silver. I can guarantee you that means that they bought in the last 2 days, right? Because anyone that's bought prior to the last 2 days, Thursday or Friday, is up. Is that right? Oh, that's not right. Not the last 2 days. Sorry. It's the last 2 days where it peaked out. Right now, it means they bought since January 13th. So in the last 2 weeks.
If you put that on like a daily,
was,
better.
Yeah, it is on daily right now.
Oh, I thought it was on the weekly.
Yeah, I keep switching it around on you guys. I should. I'll put it back on the weekly again because I think we said before, like for sure you bought in the last month.
But yeah, definitely. But looking at that, I mean, if that's the chart we're seeing right now, hold on, let me go back over here to StreamYard. It might be. Yeah, it looks like it's on the 1 week.
Hey, Gerald.
Right now.
Yep, I switched it back to the 1 week candles.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago, if you bought 2 weeks ago, you're hurting. If you bought 3 weeks ago, you're not.
1, 2, 3. That's right. Yeah, because you could have bought anywhere in here. Now,
and that was worse.
If they were trading, actively trading, they might have, if they had a stop loss, they might have got stopped out and burned that way. But really, there's no way you're underwater unless you bought since mid-January, beginning of January. So in the last month. But people that just bought in the last day or two might be crapping a brick. Like if they just put $100,000.
Well, if you're throwing money at it like that, you see a longer term than 1 or 2 days.
Yeah. But the way it works out is if you put 120 grand on silver January 29th, and then you looked at it right now, that 120 is currently 85.
Yeah, you lost a lot of money.
That's a big hit. But
one day. But anyone who's, like I said, anyone who's got that kind of money should, and I'm not saying everyone who has that kind of money is smart. I would hope to have that kind of money to be smart, but you don't have to be. But I would hope that the smarter ones would be able to see that we're in volatile times right now in this market, and I wouldn't be too concerned with it going down right now. Like I said, this is the start of a stage 4, which is, as JM's thumbnail says, it's higher highs and higher lows.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to be a higher low unless we stay there for a little bit. And then it goes up and then it repeats. And it'll be volatile. It's going to be $30, $40, $50 swings. Because if you do the math on that, it seems like a big number to us psychologically. But compared to a $50 high, 120, that's like that's twice as much as a $50. And at a $20 silver, based off of, I mean, it's just comparatively, they're big numbers, but the swings aren't really that big. Because when silver was at 50 and dropped to 20, that's $30, but it was like 55, 60%. Well, we just had that today, but it was more than 30. It was more than $20. It was 30 some dollars, but yet it was a smaller fall.
Yeah, I like what you're saying here. Like sometimes the simplest answer is the right answer, and Gerald says just hold. I love that. Buy low, hold high when it's something like silver. And I'm looking for the next opportunity too. And I think it might be nickel and platinum. I know Neil likes copper, all these other metals that haven't really taken off to the same extent.
Look at the new strategic critical metals list that they just came out with. They've added metals to the critical metal list, and the new ones they've added to that critical metal list will probably be the ones you want to look at. That's a government list of critical metals.
Yeah.
Silver's on it now. Copper's on.
Silver is still my favorite though. Like it holds a special place in my heart because I know it's also got all of these other properties like antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal, antiviral, um, antiseptic. You know, I don't want to get a strike or anything, but that's in addition to it also being the most highly electrically conductive, thermal conductivity, and I believe if it's not the shiniest, it's the second shiniest metal.
I think Osmond's the shiniest.
Yeah, there was some debate, I think even on aluminum, but um, either way, yeah, silver holds a special place in my heart. Even with this drop, I look at the price on it, I'm like, wow, I'd really like to take advantage of this. Um, but when you actually look at the price, it's like, wow, like if you're actually going to buy it, it's still going to be close to $100 an ounce. So there's monthly. Let's go back to weekly for a second. This last red candle was the trading for this week, which morphs the price, you know, of the whole year, I think. Welcome in, Silver Ruger. Now, I did also take a look at the much shorter term here to see if it looked like it was a huge, massive smackdown, you know, like we're used to seeing orchestrated. And I didn't see a massive increase in volumes on any particular time frame. I looked at a bunch of different ones. But what I did notice is where there's usually lower volumes, it just seemed to be a little bit higher. So we didn't have these massive lulls in volume. It just seemed a lot more active.
That's actually a bizarre red candle because it's got a high wick on the top and the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in the past, it's either a high wick on the top or the bottom, not both.
That's right. So, like, just in doing some research and listening to people that specialize in this market, there's still quite a variety of opinions on what's going on. I'm pretty much of the opinion that something just broke, and I don't know if it was liquidity or what, but the industrial side that's typically buying and the buyers that have been buying all the way through this bull market so far were kind of shut out. I don't know how or why exactly, but just look at, you know, and we know silver's volatile price to begin with, right? It's volatile, but everything in the last year looks like a smooth line compared to the last day or two. I'm going to put this back for the poll question, back to monthly, because I want to make sure people can see these higher lows and higher highs. So these candles now are showing the trading activity monthly. And we've got 9 green candles in a row starting at May of 2025. And if you look, you'll see the low points of them keep going higher. So you've got higher lows, and the high points are also ascending. So while we did go over 120 an ounce in the last week, it's been compressed back down. Like if you're familiar with suspension, you've got those massive coil springs, and that's what that looks to me like. It looks like it's been compressed down, and I think it's going to really run. I've heard
That's
some
right.
reputable people saying they think it may take 3, 6, 12 months to get back to 120.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I would not be surprised if it stayed and went sideways in between that range for the next year, because this bull run's not supposed to end until 2030, and at that point in time, silver's supposed to be several hundreds. And for that to happen, it can't just go up right now and then hit that mark, before then. So it's got to, again, follow the stages of the charts. Stage 4 would be a comeback down. That would be a go sideways for a couple months, establishing a new low, and then bouncing up.
Hey, Mortimer, good to see you. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, I think today's a buying opportunity as well. But with me, the truth is I haven't bought over 40. Once it hit 40 an ounce, I stopped buying silver.
Well, I've gone on record, depending scenario driven. If you're a stacker, I've always said I would quit buying after the last all time high was reached, because at that point in time you're in uncharted territory and you're pretty much just guessing.
This is tempting though. Like I checked out a couple local coin shops, and in my area, most of them are actually sold out anyway. But the price is really high. I'm in Canada. I still can't get an ounce of silver for under 100 an ounce Canadian.
And it's still a good buy. Because by 2030, and that's where people got to shift. And this is where YouTube actually hurts investors, because it's real easy to go from one YouTube channel to another, and go from a crypto mindset to a precious metal mindset. And the investment strategies to be used on both of those asset classes are 180 degrees separate from each other. And people often overlap them, and that causes them to really get into trouble. Because when you're looking again, and it's clear as day, every 4 years you have a halving in the crypto. So every 4 years it runs. And all the experts say this precious metals run is going to last till 2029 or 2030. So apparently it's a 4-year run. So there is no comparison. The crypto has to do its run in half of the year, to where this bull run is going to last for 4 to 5 more years. You can't compare the two. So you shouldn't have the same strategy, or even bring the same strategy to bear one asset class to another. You need to step back as you change asset classes, count to 5, then go into the proper perspective in the different asset class, and don't overlap your speculative or investment strategy, in my opinion.
Yep. I respect your opinion. I personally like overlapping. Like to me, it's a way of diversification.
Well, yeah, and I mean you can overlap, but when you're into, like, don't have the crypto mindset when you're buying silver, because until today, you could never make a big amount of money on silver. You could, like me, I sold it was around 111, 110. I could buy back today at 85. I'd have made $15 an ounce. You've never in history of our lifetimes been able to do that with silver. With crypto, you do that every 4 years. That's what I'm saying. So it's a different mindset.
I'm going to be back in about 30 seconds. Just hold on.
I'll hold down the fort for you. Yeah, jewelry. That's how you make money right now in precious metals during bull runs. You take and make the metal make money for you. And generally, when you create jewelry, it's an initial 100% to 200% increase over the price of precious metals. So theoretically, if you would say gold is at 5,000 and you used 1 ounce of gold to make a necklace, you could instantly get $10,000 plus time and labor for the sale of that necklace. So you could double the amount of gold in fiat dollar from the amount you used by converting that gold into a piece of jewelry, as long as someone's willing to buy that piece of jewelry. It just can't be, any piece of trash. It's got to be something nice or whatnot. But you can actually have the gold and silver and platinum make you gold, silver, and platinum if you have the right mindset, connections, and all this other crap that most people don't have time to establish.
Hey, Aldenog, how's it going? TD selling them for 130, but the order won't go through. Oh, you know what? This is going to be very, very, very challenging for small coin shops, small and medium-sized bullion dealers. Like,
Yep.
if they're buying back and they're selling, and you've got the price swinging like 30% in a day.
Yeah, it can sink them in one day.
I have a feeling that that's part of the plan. But
the weak won't survive, the strong will. That is business. Over leveraged. That's why I don't like leverage. A lot of these places get over leveraged. Swings like this will throw them out of business.
Yeah,
because you're relying on leverage.
That's another reason to not FOMO. Like,
mm-hmm.
It's been very difficult the last couple weeks, months, to not get caught up in the hype. But even on a recent, I was recently interviewed by Peanut, the Nut House, and I was showing the silver display and everything. And I told people there, I wasn't quite as bearish as you were, but I said, like, if you haven't got into silver and you're just starting to look at it now, and I had a display out, and I went from the 10-ounce bar to the 1-ounce coins and rounds, down to a Mercury dime. And I said, this right now, Mercury dime is your best thing to get into. Just dip your feet into it. It's really high right now. But I still think it's worthwhile buying at any price. It's just if you've got a lot of cash on side. But when it's high, you should be buying less. When it's low, you should be buying more.
I think the mining stocks are going to be taking off soon.
I do too.
And having said that, I suggested that Platinum Miners CLRMF when it was at 3.5 pennies, and it did fall, but it only fell to 6.1 pennies, so it's still like close to 3 pennies above when I first suggested getting in.
Yeah. I should put this. I should actually keep this chart on the monthly, like the thumbnail was.
I need to get a sponsorship from Clean Air Metals, man. I hyped them up enough. Might get some free platinum when they get it out of the ground.
I think you should just offer them your services on contract.
Yeah, my channel's way too small, bro. I'm just real excited about their product, but platinum's a small market.
Yeah, but no, like, you as a person is much greater than your own YouTube channel.
We'll see. Probably sometime this year I'll get in touch with them. Before 2027, I'll definitely get in touch with them because I'll have a bigger platform then.
So yeah, is it Aldenog? I think it's Aldenog. I wouldn't worry about it too much. TD is most likely gonna either refund your money or send you the metal. But yeah, I think there's going to be all sorts of turmoil going on trying to buy and sell right now with these price swings.
And that has been proven in the past. When a lot of people go to do buy orders or sell orders, they'll overload the computers and they'll start having issues. That's happened in the past. That could be one of many problems. Another problem is, as we've already discussed, a lot of companies are losing shitloads of money right now, depending on when they bought. Again, if you go to a monthly,
it's just one day though.
That's what I was about to say. If you go to a monthly candle,
yeah,
because they buy From this is what my lady said, because when I was in there talking to her, someone called in, wanted to sell a 1 ounce maple, and this was like, well, it was 2 days ago, and she was offering, it was like 5,000 something. I mean, it was back then, it was close to 5,000 she was offering, but she said it was a 2 week delay before she could get the check to them because of the smelters.
Yeah.
So the small coin shops are hedging their bets on the smelters price, and there's contractual issues that the smelters will have with these smaller companies that don't have good lawyers to hold them and abide them to their contract. And one hiccup from the smelter to a small LLC could sink that LLC as well.
You know, it's interesting because I just heard, Summit Metals just interviewed the guy from Scottsdale Mint,
Uh-huh.
an American mint, like prestigious at that too. And they were talking about that very thing, and they were saying how coin dealers used to be able to send, their silverware and their
Oh
sterling
yeah. Oh yeah.
and all this stuff, and they would actually issue you a deposit on that before they even received the metal.
Uh-huh.
So that helped finance them. But apparently that's not happening no more. Hey, Silver Shelby, welcome in.
It's the evolution of business. You could look at here's a layman's way to look at it. Look at Vegas in the 80s and 90s. It was $7 rooms, $5 steak and lobster dinners. Now go there and see what it is. They do things to build up the market cap and build up the interest. And once it gets to a financial spot, all of the businesses shift into a more of a profit margin based. Along with inflation we've had, they like will dump that in all of a sudden too, and they all get together and like raise prices where now it's $100 a room and $40 for steak and lobster. It's like they no longer need to bring people in, so they don't run those promos. That same business concept worked in the precious metals business, because as everyone knows, only maximum of 3% of the people. We obviously are in that group and have been for a while, but if you're not in that group, you've got to be advertised to, and so they use the same schemes as Vegas did to bring promotions, to bring people who didn't want to go to Vegas or didn't really care about Vegas. They bring them in on the deals. That same, again, business strategy was used by the precious metals peoples to get the 97% of retail that don't know shit about precious metals, and get their hand caught in the cookie jar.
So for anyone just joining us, we've got Niels Han Dynasty in the house. Make sure you check out his channel. Lots of good information. We don't always agree, but still a super intelligent guy. And where he got my heart is he rescues animals, especially cats and dogs. And for anyone that knows me, I love animals. I've just dropped the StreamYard link here for if anyone else wants to join the panel. I'm not going to pin it, but anyone that's been in here is welcome to join. If you have any input. Other than that, we'll try to keep reading your comments in chat.
Now just saying hi to Silver Shelby who came in.
Yeah. Silver Shelby's been a big supporter of a lot of precious metals channels. Always a positive influence.
Just keep the faith, knowing that no matter what happens with the currencies or anything else, we're in a bull market for precious metals till close to 2030. So even if you were like to buy now, you might not get the 5 to 6x returns that people who bought at 20 are getting, or will get when it gets that high. They'll be like exponentially more profit margin getting in at 20 or 30, but getting in 80, 90, by 2030, it's going to be several $100s. So it's still a good long-term investment. It's just you're not going to see I bought 1,000 ounces at $20 and now it's, a couple of days ago, it's $120. That's a 6x. You're not going to see 6x from 100 on silver, but you might see 4 or 5x.
Yeah. Hey, Neil, we've got IU National in the backstage here. Is anyone here familiar with IU National?
I don't see anyone backstage.
Okay. Well, there is. We've got IU. I think it's IU National.
Top right, there's private chat.
You know what? I think it might be Nickel. But
throw in.
I know who you are. Let me know in the private chat there.
Yeah, that's a good way to handle that.
Maybe it's copper. It could be nickel. It could be silver. It could be gold. It could be platinum. It could be osmium.
They're looking at some cool stuff for the crystallized osmium in the security and quantum industries. Not nothing definite. They're just exploring possible options for future security uses of the crystallized osmium.
Yep. Hey, Nickel, how's it going?
I thought you knew my helmet. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes I recognize you, sometimes I don't. We got to be careful. A lot of people have been getting porn bombed on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh well.
It's only ever happened on my channel twice, and I got them quick.
I never had it happen, so.
Well, you will. You will if you keep going.
Now. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Are you still nuked?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm finished.
So are you going to do a Rumble channel, or what's your plans?
No, I might do Facebook.
I thought you might just retire.
Well, I tell you what, I have to admit, I was a 7-digit man for a couple of days anyway.
Nice. I think you still are. You still are, man.
I don't know.
This is a very temporary pullback, in my opinion. There's no way, in my opinion, there's no way this pullback's lasting more than a year. If I was a betting man, it's a 50% chance that it might take 6 months.
I was about to say, summertime-ish.
Yeah, there's a 5 to 10% chance that it's going to fully recover and blast through to 150 in the next few weeks.
Well, if this guy that they want to replace Powell, if he gets confirmed through the Senate, silver will be 300 before December. So
I fail to see where everyone can shift and say that China has control of the silver price. Now, then all of a sudden Trump does something. Now America has control of the silver price. That just doesn't make logical sense to me. It's either one or the other. We can't keep shifting as the price varies, blaming different people, different superpowers for the issue. It's more than that. Because last week China was in control of the silver price. Now America's in control of the silver price. How the hell does that work?
Well, you know this AI bot thing that y'all don't like. He predicted this. He said it would be a big drop and then it will go right back up. So.
Oh, AI Asian guy.
Yeah.
He's how many channels does he have now?
I think mainly just one. I think a lot of other people start one and then use him for their videos. So I think there's only officially one.
Really?
Yeah. But there's a bunch of people that use him.
And they copy. Okay, so they take his AI video and then they do an AI remix of it?
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh, this is getting insane, man.
And that's something I would suggest not to listen to if it's spreading like that, because that's how I've never seen truthful information spread like wildfire.
Well, what a lot of the people that I hold in pretty high regard are, if I average it out, it works out to something like 70 to 80% of what the AI Asian guy is saying is actually true, right? And it's being presented in a realistic and objective manner. And then there's another 10 or 20% that's questionable. And then there's like another 10 or 20%, like approximately numbers, that is just freaking made up out of thin air or scoured from some deep web thing and got skewed.
Well, his last video was over the history of how countries rise and fall, and they put fake, bad metals in their coins and take the precious metals out. He did all that, one of those. Well, I've already seen that 100 million times, so I didn't pay much attention to that one today. But
yeah, that's so yesterday.
If you guys watch Good Morning Stacker, he predicted the fall in silver too, and it had nothing to do with the American government. It has to do with actual the charting of charts and the rhythm of charts and how you can read charts. And none of that has to do with geopolitical. And he was able to call it. So,
Okay, so
you can put on it what you want, but there are lots of other things that happen that you can also put it on.
so let's do a test. Let's do a test here, Neil, because I like Good Morning Stacker too. He's Australian, right?
Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
Okay, so let's see which of my moderators in the chat can drop Good Morning Stacker's channel link in the chat. He actually answered a question of mine that I had about nickel, and he did the price analysis and the charting. I can do a little bit of chart analysis, but I'm no technical expert. And he did it, and he was blown away when he was looking at nickel. And he's like, "Oh my god!" And he started. You could tell he's scratching his head, and he's like, "Wow, this is actually potentially an amazing opportunity."
Yeah, he did the same thing with clean air metals and platinum. When I just showed him that, and he was like, "What? There's another platinum miner? I need to keep an eye on this one."
Holy Neil won. Look at that, Neil won. No one
else. That's because I'm like, I was like one of his first couple, 100 or so subscribers. Actually, probably 50 or so. Gerald introduced me to him. Gerald Draper 4491.
Yeah, I do like him. The only thing that I find awkward is his slurp, because it reminds me of Sal, but it's just not the same.
Everyone tries to get their fucking, their fucking whatever, that they do. Yeah. I buy silver platinum crystallized osmium. He does the slurp,
That's a call sign thing. Silver price, buckle up. That's what I set as the title for this live stream, and I've got a little roller coaster in there. I do expect we're going to continue to see roller coaster. Right now, we're looking at monthly candles, very similar to the thumbnail for this live stream. But I'm going to back it out to weekly candles again.
It got within about $3 to $4, and I was ready to start selling. Then I'm gonna buy a lot of nickel, probably some osmium. So I'm gonna reinvest a lot of it.
Yeah, silver rudder, the synchronized slurp.
Nickel, have you sold any of your silver?
No. I was waiting for 125, and
I remember you saying that like a year or two ago, and I was like, "Oh man, are you ever optimistic?"
Oh yeah, I know. I didn't know it'd go this fast. I knew it would eventually get up there. I didn't see it coming like this fast, in that shorter period of time. But look at all the years it didn't do anything, and I'm going, it should be.
It's the same thing happened before 1971, and it jumped to 50, except for it went from like $3 to 50. If you do the math on that, that's like 15x. Now you look at 30. What's 15x of 30? That's, to us, it's a big number, but it's not unrealistic. It's just a number. The chart is the same. Again, it's in your perspective of looking at it, and everyone seems to look at it in the fiat dollar, but they leave out every other aspect of that fiat dollar. All they do is see all those zeros and oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But if you look back at the charts, when it was at $3 and it jumped to $50, again, that's like 15x. So we're looking at 450 before it even comes close to what happened in 1971. But yeah, that seems like a big number.
There we got 1971 right there. This is charting from 1971 until now. 3-month candles. Wow, is that ever volatile?
Yeah, but this is supposed to be a super cycle. That's why it's going to last until the 2029, 2030. What's up, Shadow?
Looks that
way. It's number 4, 104.
So again, at 125, and before I'm age 62, I'll sell. And at age 62, I'll probably start to sell no matter what it is. But again, when you only pay $3.50 to $4 for silver, I ain't going to lose. I'm going to make money. It just you can make more, you can make less, but I'm still going to do well.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty thrifty. Like I've been really happy about how I spent my time listening to some of your videos and seeing just how thrifty you are.
Mm-hmm. That's called being cheap. That's what.
There's different words for it.
I've tried to duplicate some of that. I go to the thrift stores and see if I can pick some stuff up that's sterling silver, or even if it's only 10 karat gold. And it's tough. Like you got to know where to go, when to go, and you've got that eye on a lot of like gemstones too. Wow.
The Gerald Draper asked me about Bitcoin. Hey, Bitcoin's not doing all that well these last couple of years. That's all I know. So
yeah, it'll pop back up again in 2029, 2030. It pops every 4 years, bro. It's a synchronicity in the charts. You can go back and look if you don't believe me. Just look at the chart on Bitcoin every 4 years during the halving. Boom, boom, boom. It's like clockwork. First time it happened, it retraced from high to low 90%. Second time it happened, it retraced high to low 70%. Third time, 50%. I was expecting about a 30% retrace from its all-time high this halving. And then you get to the stabilization and just a general upward momentum if you look at just the charts.
Man, I think metals are going to move when the Iran gets hit, and they're going to be attacked. It's just a matter of when. And we'll see if they attack first. I mean, if they get hit first, they're not going to be able to do much in retaliation if they get allowed to be hit first.
So we already forgot about the war in Venezuela that we're supposed to have gone to war with, right? We're going to find someone we're going to go to war with, huh?
It's still ongoing. The woman is not doing what Trump wants, is what I understand. So they're threatening to kidnap her now. So I don't know what's going to happen.
What's kidnap? Does she have a warrant out, international warrant for arrest for being a drug dealer?
I don't know what you charge her with. I'm just saying they'll make it up.
Well, no, you use the word kidnap. That means that you refer to the president as being kidnapped, which means that you don't agree with international law and international warrants from all the countries in the world that came up with the laws that said he was an illegal leader. And you're following a misconception of other people's perception to sway you in a direction that they want you to think rather than knowing the truth. That's all I'm saying.
No, well, he was kidnapped. I mean,
no, he wasn't.
Yeah,
he was not kidnapped. Yeah, if you murder someone and you have a warrant out for your arrest, you do not get kidnapped by the cops. I'm sorry.
Does Trump
you can say kidnapped.
Does Trump have a warrant for all the people he's murdered? They killed 88 people.
But the facts remain. If you have an international warrant for your arrest, just because Trump doesn't like you, doesn't make it kidnapping when they get you.
Well, whatever. All I know is
it's not whatever. It's
I know what I know that they shot
and you are refusing to believe the facts of life.
And
that's probably why you don't have a channel.
And when you shoot and kill people and then take their leader, it is against international law, whether you want to believe it or not. It is a fact.
Oh no, I totally believe it. But see, the thing that you are not believing is that if that criminal is not recognized as a leader and he's got a warrant for his arrest,
it depends on who you ask.
Everything you just said goes out the fucking window.
It depends on who you ask.
And you have TDS.
It depends who you ask. The United States is not. Trump is not God. The United States.
Hold on a second here. The United States was used for 50 years as the world police. So don't go there, bro. You don't know history.
Well, they don't need to be the world police. That's the whole problem.
Well, then the world's got a problem because the world made us the world police. It's called NATO. Look at all the laws they passed. Look at Vietnam. Look at Korea. Don't go in denial. Trump wasn't even around back then. Look at the facts. We were the world police. We took over Vietnam from the French as a police action. That's why it's not a war, and that's why all the veterans had problems getting the VA rights, because it was not a declared war by Congress. Get over your simpletism.
Well, whatever you want to label, Korea was a war, Vietnam was a war.
No, it was not a war. We took that police action over at the request of South Korea.
Google it. It says Korean War. It doesn't say Korean action.
of nations known as NATO. It was a police action. America has not gone to war unless Congress declares war. That, my friend, unfortunately for you, is a fact of life
No,
and
it
the
don't.
law.
If
And
you
for
if you
matter
go
of
to
fact,
war, it
the
don't matter
last
what
time
the
America
Congress.
declared war in Congress was 1991. I'm very familiar with what I'm talking about because I was involved in that interaction, and I understand the difference.
It's classified as a war, and now Korea is too.
It's classified however the hell you want to in some other country or some. So you know what?
That's right. That's what I said. You
all
hit
they gotta
it. You
do
hit
is
it.
take and say homosexuality is no longer a mental disease, and then overnight it's no
You
longer
hit
a
it.
mental disease.
You
all
hit
they
it
gotta
right.
say is
It's what
slavery
other
is legal,
countries
then overnight
perceive.
slavery is legal. It still doesn't make it right.
Listen, most countries.
I don't have to listen. You're talking bullshit.
No, you're the biggest bullshitter of all time. You should sell cars. You might have to have some money and some net worth. Now,
You don't have enough money to buy a car from me. That's why I don't sell cars.
anyway, gosh darn,
Go ahead.
he needs to Google. Apparently, he
No,
doesn't know how to Google.
it's all good. I know everyone thinks it's all heated and oh my god, it's out of control. The wheels are
Oh,
falling
no,
off.
it's not
But
over control.
everyone's got their own opinion, and they're entitled to their
It's
own
not an
opinion.
opinion.
But
they
most
can,
countries,
Facts.
most
I don't put out
countries,
opinions. I
most
put out
countries
facts.
recognize Maduro as the president. That's what I'm saying. It's not what
Name
the United States
17,
says.
and I'll name 120 that say otherwise. Yes, you
Name-
are
name
correct.
your
Michael.
120.
If you look at Iran, they do 100% correct. If you look at, let's see, who else was it? Syria, yeah, another terrorist nation. They also recognize him. Colombia, another drug country, they recognized him. So yes, you are correct. Other drug countries and terrorist nations. Oh, Palestine probably recognized him too, because they're a terrorist nation run by
Relax,
Hamas.
man.
So yeah,
Relax.
I'm sure there are
Wow.
countries out there that back you up, but you are taking side of the wrong when you say that, and you're pushing that narrative, and you think you're right.
Well, here it is. When they had it, they called a meeting in the UN, and when
Have
they
you
went
ever heard
around,
of the Peace Prize?
all the
Why
countries,
did a
just about all,
Venezuelan
maybe
woman?
three, maybe
Why did a
three said he was
Venezuelan woman
illegally
win the Peace
elected.
Prize? Have you ever heard anything she had to say about this dude who ran the country that you think he ran it legally? Have you ever heard the woman who won the Peace Prize and what she has to say? Because she lived through what you say is a beautiful nation and a freely elected guy. And then once you listen to the Peace Prize winner of the world, your point of view is totally asinine because it's not true at all. The woman who's lived through it and won the Nobel Peace Prize of the world says you're full of shit. And he's murdered
she's
people,
president.
and he's funneled billions of dollars away from their country. He's tortured people. But hey, you love him. Go America. You have the right to, brother.
How come Trump didn't make her president?
It's not his country, dumbass.
Right.
He leads
They should have been
America.
invaded.
Okay, let's not be calling names though. Like I love the
come on,
debate
man,
and I
that's a
love the
stupid-ass
dialogue, but
question.
let's not
That's
do
a
the name
stupid ass
calling.
question. What that's called a leading question that liberals use to throw people into a trap. Oh, well, why didn't Biden run the moon? What the fuck? Come on, man, be real.
It's YouTube,
not
guys.
his country. You
Why
want it
do
to
you
be
do?
because you want him to be a Nazi. You want him to rule the world. That's the perspective you're selling. That's why you look like a. Well, that's why you don't have a channel, because not too many people want to believe that perspective. You are free to have that perspective, but it's wrong.
No, the reason I don't have a channel is because I did sports, which I would do probably again if I got the opportunity. Would probably lose the channel again if I could. So, because I like
It
sports.
doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. They'll take them down. Best off on YouTube, best off just sticking to dogs and cats and, lawn mowing and, keep it simple, keep it non-political, non-controversial. And the controversial stuff, I think Rumble's probably a better way to be. I don't think Facebook's any better.
Well, I'm
Do
not
you?
going to do games on Facebook.
Say again?
I'm not going to do the games on Facebook. So I'll just talk about what happened in the game on Facebook, but I'm not going to actually do the radio version. Took them 2.5 years to get me. So, but I did break the rules. I did put the radio version on, and they are copyrighted and they are protected. I just didn't think anybody gave a crap for radio broadcasts anymore. So,
Oh, man, that sucks. Like, I've done the same thing, and I've kind of just kept my fingers crossed. I probably got lucky. But, yeah, maybe I should learn from that from your
And it
mistake.
don't do any good to have a second channel because they took all of them down. I had no strikes, no warnings, and they took it all down like that. And then
So
I got blocked from the radio stations too. So
are you going to appeal it?
no. I mean, I've got other ways to get to the radio station, so I can still, listen to them. But
Yeah.
I can't go directly to them, or else they got me blocked on the radio station. So
Dang.
I don't know anybody ever been blocked from a radio station. I don't know. I go, holy cow! That's how I knew what happened.
Yeah.
And then I said, well, if they did that, they're the ones that got me in trouble.
So I want to ask both you guys, if you were, because both of you have been studying precious metals and investments and all sorts of cool things like that. And I know we don't agree on everything, but one thing we do agree on is precious metals. I want to ask both of you, and I'll start with Nickel. If you were a new stacker, say you're like 20 years old, you're just getting out of school, and you've got a couple $100 a month extra that you can put away into precious metals beyond everything else that you've already got cleared up, how would you allocate that? Nickel first.
Well, I mean, I know too much now, so I couldn't relate to that because at that age I wouldn't have known as much about it, and so my decisions would be different than if I got in today.
Yep. But so let's say it's today, though. It's today. What would you do?
Oh, someone gave me the money and said, "Hey, invest this for me."
Say it's your buddy's kid, and he's like, "Oh, I've been looking into precious metals and everything, and I'm working and doing everything. I want to put say $200 to $500 a month away into precious metals." What would you do? What would you tell him to do?
I think small silver, such as 1 gram bars, and because even dimes now are getting so high, So I would say the smaller amounts of silver, and the silver like I get, which is sterling and all the other, which will eventually they'll have to start processing it again. And my processor does. I mean, they do melt it still, but I mean, I think all of them will eventually do it again. And I would say that's your best way to get into silver. And I think that you do need silver. And then I'm going to say, why don't you look at nickel? Because I think it's the deal of the century right now. I think nickel right now at its price is better than when I bought into silver when it was 4.
It looks similar. It looks similar to me. It looks like it's got a lot of pressure where it could really have a big climb. And then it just collapsed, like someone knocked the support out of it. The thing that I don't like about nickel, though, is it doesn't have all the, antibacterial, antimicrobial, antiviral, antiseptic, most conductive and everything else. Like, it just doesn't have all of that stuff that helps me to love silver. But yeah, I do think nickel is a great value buy right now. Okay, Neil, what would you say to someone just starting out in their early 20s? They're like, I've got an extra, couple hundred, maybe 500 a month I could put into precious metals. What should I do with it?
I wouldn't stick it in precious metals. It's too volatile and they'll flip the fuck out and lose their mind. Next thing that's going to pop would be the miners. And I would suggest they look at the miners, look at the geopolitical, and then I would suggest CLRMF for a good $200 to $300 investment, because in 3 to 4 years, it's going to pay you back in dividends biannually, and you'll get more than your money back out of that investment. And you won't be pulling your hair out of it, because when you buy it, you're buying it for a couple of years. To where with silver and platinum and gold, with ups and downs, depending on the personality of the individual, they could actually have a heart attack from the price going up and down, saying, "Oh, that was a good investment. Oh my God, that's a bad investment." And just the age of the person being so young, I wouldn't want to put that on them. Because right now we're in a bull run. Silver, as you can see, it's going to jump up, it's going to fall down, and it's not really the ideal spot for a new investor. A safer spot right now would be in mining stocks, in my opinion, and look for ones that'll pay future dividends.
I like both of your ideas, right? Like, so what Nicholas saying is, if you get the physical, you're out of the system,
Right.
right? You've
Physical's more
got that.
important because if you get mining stocks, you still got paper.
Yeah, and what Neil's saying is, yeah, but like if you're young, you can take that extra risk, and you could go more speculative for even a bigger return. And it's true, like the mining stocks, generally speaking, have not kept up with the spot price increase in silver. So there could be, a good buying opportunity in the mining stocks too.
Well,
Yeah.
for a 2-year time period, I can tell you, keep up with my channel, and I'll tell you about CLRMF, and we can see where it goes from my initial telling people of it at 3.5 cents per share, and now it's not dropped below 6 cents per share. In 2 years, it'll probably be $2 to $3 per share paying dividends. And I'll give the breakdown of how I got all my money back. And then the next time they pay dividends, it'll be pure profit margin, and I still have the original investment. So whether or not it's paper or not, I'm not willing to put a bet that in the next 10 years, our system's going to fall apart and we're going to go back to caveman days to where we need barter. Because if we do that, believe it or not, gold and silver pretty much don't have as much value as you believe they do. Because if you look at China, and I did a report on this, there are cities there that have been cut off because the government doesn't like what they're doing, so they stop trade going in, kind of like what they did in Canada for truckers. It's happened to a couple cities in China, and the people instantly reverted back to barter of goods and services for goods and services, and gold and silver had nothing to do with it. And I did a video on it. So as much as we don't want to believe that that's a possibility, that is the most likely possibility. Because if someone can't eat it, why are they going to trade for it?
And so like right now we've got comments in here from Shadow Work saying he was trying to get rid of some of his junk silver that he had bought, and he couldn't get rid of it because the smelters were all bogged down.
Yeah, that's a problem with your gold and silver too. Oh, and I said this earlier in your show. My local coin shop guy called in wanting to sell a gold maple. She goes, yeah, it was like 2 days ago. She goes, the price was like 5,000. She quoted. She goes, but you'll have to wait 2 weeks till we get the money from the smelters. So it's already a 2-week delay in paying for anything over like $1,000. Do you really think bartering gold and silver and selling it when you have to wait 2 weeks to get the money is going to help you out in those 2 weeks when you need the money?
To me, it's not so much about the bartering thing. Like for bartering, you're better off having, like a farm homestead thing like we've talked about. And
skills.
Yeah, all that sort of thing. Your precious metals, in my opinion, it's not so much even for people like me, because I'm not really all that wealthy. But like for me, I use it more than instead of a savings account and instead of cash under the bed, under the mattress. That's how I do it. And if I can put more into it than just that, then hopefully it'll be, generally generational, and I can pass it down.
Everyone's got different strategies. Everyone's got a different perspective. Everyone's at a different age and a different point in their life and can take different or not different risks for rewards. Our job as YouTube people is to present different perspectives of how to achieve that depending on your situation. Not everyone is 57. Not everyone's 27. Not everyone has a job. Not everyone's in the military with a guaranteed job. So again, scenarios differ for everyone. Just to get information out, factual information that people can digest and come up with their own opinion is what I believe our job is. Not to give out perspectives, our personal perspectives, but give out facts that other people can digest and then come up with their own perspectives. So therefore, if they succeed or fail, you didn't suggest they succeed or fail. You just gave out factual information about what's going on for them to get a perspective on, because not everyone spends the time that all of us spend or have spent on learning this stuff over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I had a point when I was talking before, and then I had a blank, and you started talking. I was like, okay, I'm glad you started talking because
fill the space. It got quiet. Sorry about that, bro.
I had the background information, and I had a point, and I forgot what the freaking point was. So, what do you think, Nickel?
About what?
My poll question.
I have to go back and look at it.
Okay. I can tell you what it was. Poll question was, this chart is set to monthly candles. Do you see the higher highs and the higher lows? And hey, thanks everyone. We got over 25 votes in the poll question. 62% of the people saying, yes, I see the higher highs and the higher lows. 4% said no, and 35% not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to do one more poll question, and it's going to be, what do you guys think? Do you think silver's going to hit when? What do you think of this? When do you think silver will hit $150?
Oh,
Is that
now
a good
that's
poll question?
specific.
Talk to me.
Just hit it. Not sustain it, but just hit it.
Yep. Or, well, it's up to you. Like,
within 3 months.
Whatever you guys think, let me know in the chat. I think it should be something like, when do you think silver will hit 150? Because we have hit 120, which is just amazing.
June, maybe July. I could be totally wrong. The market is it's a roller coaster ride. Who knows when it's going to go up and when it's going to go down? And every day, a geopolitical thing could happen. Like today, people are saying Trump's in charge of silver price. Tomorrow, it'll be China again, and it'll be, but still the silver price will move. We'll just look for different things to blame it on. But it's going to move up and down volatilely because we are in the sprint stage of silver going up. And from my research, last time we had a bull run some 40 some years ago, silver was very volatile. And this, looking at the price, yeah, it's looking pretty volatile. And that's dangerous ground for investors, for timid investors, not experienced investors that are willing to take that risk of it dropping 40% in one day.
Okay, so what I did then, just because the question, when will silver hit 150, wasn't controversial enough, I've set the poll question to, when do you think silver will hit 200? Okay. And so the options are this year, next year, which is 2027, or 2028, or no idea.
I think it'll go this year.
Okay, we'll see.
I think 150 by March 1st, 200 by probably the end of June, and maybe as high, depending on what happens at the Fed, probably 300 by the end of the year, depending on who gets it.
What do you think is going to happen with the Fed? Like, I heard that Trump is going for someone that's very hawkish.
Well, no, he wants somebody to lower the interest rate to zero, and this guy, when he gets in, he'll just keep lowering it.
I think that's a great idea. I love that. I don't see any reason for there to be an interest rate at all. I think interest rates should be zero.
Another prediction I've made a couple times on several channels, as well as my own, is by the end of 2026, we'll have zero inflation. And I knew that before they got in a scuffle with Powell, and I got it on video. People thought I was crazy when I said it last year. I was like, I think we're going to have zero inflation in 2026. But I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But there's videos back there of me saying it.
And the reason that I think interest rates should be zero is because when you talk about interest rates, you're talking about borrowing or lending fiat currency, which is backed by nothing. And So from my viewpoint, is worthless. So why would I pay an interest rate for you to lend me something that's worthless to begin with?
That's a good way to look at it, but that's
Its
not the
only
way
value is that you can buy stuff with it.
I could almost guarantee you the way that the government's looking at it is if we have zero inflation and we're still bringing in revenue off of taxes and tariffs at unprecedented levels, what a zero inflation does was it makes the interest on the loan that America owns of 36 trillion stop. Because most of it is interest. So if there's no interest, inflation is the interest on that loan.
I think they can only stop any new debt because
and that right there is
right?
enough. That right there is enough of a catalyst for us to start paying it down. Is what I'm trying to get at. Because with the new monies coming in from tariffs, and we still have taxes, even though they're lower, we're revenue and shutting down expenditures as far as all the layoffs that happened, the limited amount of fraud that they have discovered and have prevented. All those numbers, whatever they actually turn out to be, this next shutdown, if we lose a couple more thousand federal employees, all those numbers, when they come in, are going to make for less expenditure on the government's end while the revenue got raised. And with the zero inflation on the national debt, that would be zero interest basically on the national debt. With the extra revenue, we could start paying that off. That would increase the nation's credit rating from AAA to back to AA, if not single, or no, however it works. We don't have the best credit rating anymore because of that debt. So if they change that around and get that credit rating changed, that actually gives us positive growth rating, giving us even a better chance to pay off that debt and it reversing. And that doesn't happen in 2 minutes.
So what I wanted to show you guys, and I appreciate that, Neil, is a lot of people focus on this. It's the usdebtclock.org. Anyone that wants to drop the link in the chat, go for it. I think everyone should be familiar with this website.
And that's
but
changed.
they focus on this and all the other details in here. But what I want to focus on is something a lot of people ignore, and that is world debt clocks. Okay. So there we go. So as much as USA has 38 trillion in national debt, China's got 20 trillion. Germany's got 3, Japan's got 11, India's got 3, UK's got 4, France 4, Italy 3, Brazil 2, Canada almost 3, Argentina not so much, not even a trillion, Australia a trillion, Belgium almost a trillion, Greece half a trillion, Indonesia and Ireland are not all that high, but Korea's got a trillion, Mexico a trillion, Netherlands half a trillion,
and 9.6 trillion of all that world debt is owed to America. That chart is not up there.
So, like, the point that I'm trying to make here as I scroll through this is USA is not alone in this debt and slavery that central banks have imposed on pretty much every major country in the world.
Mm-hmm.
See that? I'm going to drop the link in the chat for this for you guys. I think this should be shared out on every platform because I think, like, to me, as much as I was born in Canada and I am Canadian, I fully acknowledge America's the best country in the world and has the best potential for opportunity for human life.
Yes.
Right? And
no reason to change it to the Middle East.
For Americans to always be down on themselves, and I get frustrated, even from my perspective, because I'm like, you guys, you have the greatest country in the world. You have the greatest opportunity, and pretty much everywhere else is more screwed than you. If you think you're screwed, check out the other countries. Okay.
I guess that's where I'm privileged. I lived in several countries before I was like 12, and I actually got to experience that. So at a very young age, I was like, wow. Wow. To everyone that hates America, I'm like, how many countries have you lived in? Oh, I've been to Mexico. Oh, did you go to Tijuana or did you go to Guadalajara at the resort fucking area? Yeah, you shouldn't criticize your country till you live in another one for a year.
Right. So Gerald says accountability, allocation, and transparency needed and should be public. Military tribunals to solve that practice going neglected as nickel and supply doesn't compute.
Well, if you're going to have a trial Maduro, it should be in Venezuela or The Hague, one of the two.
Well, if you're going to have it, you got to recognize that the product he sold to us killed hundreds of thousands of Americans, and he's got to hold accountability for that. Unless you think he was elected freely to murder those Americans. In which case, Venezuela is our enemy.
Well, I'd love to be weighing in on this with you guys, but like I don't know enough about it, and I don't want to weigh in on it unless I know for sure.
All I gotta say is the world's going to be the Western Hemisphere will be a better place, and a lot of families will be able to keep their children.
You don't want China and Russia taking over.
Yeah, and we don't want their fentanyl in our country either. I lost a couple.
There's no fentanyl at all in Venezuela. That was the biggest lie there was. And if it was, why didn't he try him? Why wouldn't that have been a charge? It wasn't.
I think it comes from China, though, right? It comes from China,
and then it's already been proven what Nichols saying is bullshit. I was just leaving talk.
You're full of crap. Why didn't he get charged? They didn't charge him with that. That's not what Maduro was charged with. It's not even on any of his charges.
Hold on, you said he was kidnapped. How can he be charged if he's kidnapped? You see why people don't listen to you? You changed your point in the same sentence, bro.
Yeah, just like
you took both sides of the story. He was kidnapped a half hour ago. Now there's charges. How can you charge someone if you kidnapped him, Nickel? I'm asking you a logical question. How can you charge someone if you kidnapped him?
I can talk over. This guy here said China was going to collapse. He's been saying it for 10 freaking years. They have not collapsed. So, take it what you will.
Now, look at that. Hold on.
How can you charge someone you kidnapped? Is that not an oxymoron? At least admit you are an oxymoron in this one case. Because if you look at the English language, if you kidnap someone, you can't charge them of a crime because you're the criminal for kidnapping them. And in your words, and all we got to do is go back in the video and listen to your words. Your words said that he was kidnapped.
Trump is a criminal.
Now your words said he was
Trump
charged.
Is a criminal.
All I'm asking you is which one is
correct.
Can you at least pick one side and stick with it for more than an hour?
I'm going to agree with you.
You guys know this.
Trump's a criminal. That's 100% correct. I do believe that.
There you go. Okay, now we know you have TSD or TDS. That's all I want. I just wanted it known, and it's now documented. Thank you.
So it's a family channel. Invite your family.
He sunk himself with his own words. I didn't do it. I just caught it.
I love lively debate and opinions being shared. I love seeing people that have things in common and things in different and sorting them out. But I did love Emery's comment here. Unwinnable, no matter which side you argue. And I think that I feel that energy. It's division. Like we're all on the same side here, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna probably have a civil war before it's over.
And that's cool.
We just I pray for discernment and knowledge, and things like that, direction, because it's very easy to get fooled. And as we move forward, especially with technology, it's going to get easier and easier and easier for the vast majority. What do they call it? You guys know Magbam Truth?
I've never heard of him.
The mass, for the masses, the mass population. It's being brainwashed, continuously.
Hello?
Hey.
Did you drop out? What were you saying?
I'm still here.
Okay. It sounded like on my end, it sounded like you just stopped in mid-sentence.
Yeah, I do that from time to time.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't me. That's all. I just needed validation. It wasn't me. I could care less.
Could have been my internet too.
Or mine even.
That's right. Don't buy into the divide and conquer, guys.
I'm not buying into anything. Like I said, I don't have a perspective. And for anyone who doesn't know this, I did not vote for Trump.
That's fine. But both of you are on the same side.
I did.
When
both of you are on the same side, you've got to pick through and figure out how it is that you came so far apart.
And understanding of words and changing of the definition of words to make a point, to make yourself feel better, all within a half hour. That would be a problem for me. I don't like people calling someone one thing and then to make another point, pull a 180 and call them something else just for a talking point to make themselves look good. If you're going to talk about it, stick to the one point. Either he's a criminal who went in there and kidnapped somebody, or he went in there and charged them in a court of law with crimes. You can't have it both ways.
But the United States does not have jurisdiction.
Yeah, you said he kidnapped him. Now I understand what jurisdiction is on kidnapping.
Yeah, and I don't understand the technicalities. Like, I thought
technicalities is one of them's illegal, one of them is 100% legal. And if you take the illegal stance when you're making a point and say, oh no, he kidnapped him, and then within a half hour change that wording up to make yourself right in the point and say, well, the charges he brought up against him, if you kidnap someone, you're not charging him with shit because there's no court of law, because it's illegal in court of law to kidnap someone. So therefore, if you make a case, then after saying that you 100% believe that they kidnapped them, you cannot make the case that they charged them with crimes, because in your personal belief that you just stated, they kidnapped them. So what's happening is they just want to keep making points, diverting people
from the crimes they charged them with are ridiculous.
Words and fabrications.
They're ridiculous what all they charged him with. They first said he was a member of this group, this drug cartel group, and then now
I don't think it's relevant.
That cartel doesn't exist. So, and then they didn't charge him with anything. The original charges, he's not being charged with the original charges years ago. It's all new charges. So why didn't they bring back the charges that they actually had?
Why don't you ask Miss Trump next time you're in the White House, and we'll all know the answer. You can tape record it. So let's get on with the conversation that actually matters, where we can make sense rather than listen to Nickel Wonderland, Let's Believe Playland and shit.
I'll tell you what though, guys. Like, I don't believe anything that I hear on the news other than like local traffic reports. Like, I don't even trust the weather. So like when it comes to politics, I don't trust it at all unless I'm right there and I see it for myself. I think there's so much being fabricated, so much misinformation, disinformation out there. Unless you're actually there, you've got.
I wonder if Kennedy caught as much trouble from the people when he went into Cuba and tried to stop that, because he was a Democrat, but he was doing the same thing. He was trying to secure the Western Hemisphere. Just like what Trump's doing.
He didn't go into the Cuba. He tried to block.
What? Excuse me? What? We don't have a base in Cuba? What? Hold on. What lie are you telling us?
Kennedy did not go into Cuba.
Bay of Pigs. Have you ever heard of it? Research it, brah. Research it. Seriously, research it, brah. It happened during the Kennedy administration. I know you want to blame Ronald Reagan because he's a Republican and came 30 years later. I understand. But it happened during the Kennedy administration, and moves that he made caused it to fail. Oh my God, these are facts, dude. Get up with the history.
And he did call it off. And that's why the Cuban Nationals.
And that's why our men got killed. And that's why, yeah, you're 100% correct. Wow, you're getting on board. Yes, what happens when you fuck
big
up?
Difference would say
you cause countries to go bad and become communist in the Western Hemisphere, and you cause Russia to come over with nuclear missiles. Yeah, well, Trump can do it without Russia coming over and getting nuclear missiles, because we're grabbing Cuba next.
But Cuban internationals are not Americans, so it was Cubans that went in. Cubans
have been boat people since the 80s escaping that country. That is such a dead issue. There's more freaking politicians in Florida with Cuban relatives than in any other state. And they got control of the federal government. Cuba's in, bro.
But what got us all in trouble was the United States gets in all these people's business. We're the ones that made Castro the leader of Cuba.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we did. We helped him.
Russia did that.
We didn't. We put him in, and then
we put Russia in. You're right. We put Russia in.
You can go back and study your U.S. history. I made straight A's in it.
Really?
I know.
In the school system that turns out 30% of kids that can't read, I would be proud of that, Nickel.
Well, you don't know your history. You don't know American history.
You're right. I don't know my history to make you right. But in fact, I do know my history, and you're wrong.
Yep.
But we'll stick in Nickel world. And in Nickel world, well, hell, anything you say is true. So just run your mouth. We'll all believe it.
Well, I don't know. I've learned a lot from both of you guys, and I respect both of you. So, and I know like Gerald's got some nasty comments for Nickel too, but I think that we've all got a lot that we can learn from each other. We've all got our strengths and weaknesses, and why the fuck can't we just get along? And where is 79?
Because I can't get along with people who hate others that just are trying to help us out.
Well, I think that there's.
I know it's funny.
I'm going to be honest here, and no hard feelings. I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. I think that Nickel's been a little bit brainwashed.
Yeah, I think a lot. I think a lot brainwashed.
At the same time, there's still a lot that I learn from Nickel, and I know I've been brainwashed, and I think everyone here's been brainwashed, just varying degrees on different subjects.
Well, I think it would determine what outcome you want. And in my world, I want an American continent that is free from communism and socialism. And I think that would make our lives better. In other people's lives, they think if America becomes communism or socialism, it'll be a lot better. So there's a real big difference there.
Yeah, but I don't want fascism, which is what we're getting right now.
So. No, we actually had that. And if you watch Congress and you actually know the facts, they're actually doing not tribunals. They should be tribunals, but they're doing testimonies on people in the FBI who got subpoenas under NAFA or something like that to go after Congress and senators. And they admitted they didn't tell the judges. In other words, the Biden administration's FBI committed federal law. They broke it. So far, I don't think Trump's FBI has, but I understand your hate for Trump and wanting him to have broken the law. But it's actually been proven in Congress. If you watch the debates and everything they have in Congress, I know it's very, very boring, but it's very enlightening. It tells you facts. And you also know that the Democratic Clintons are now getting impeached because they didn't meet the subpoena. And of course, it's okay for them not to do it. It's just not okay for Trump not to do it. Because if we go back in history, when Trump wanted to deny a subpoena that Congress gave, they came up with all kinds of shit and made him show up. But now the Clintons have the same thing, and they're calling for all kinds of, well, he has presidential immunity. Well, why didn't Trump have that? Oh, because he was Trump. That makes all the legal sense in the world if you're a mental case.
But just read the latest Epstein files that just came out.
I know. I've seen.
It ain't good for Trump. It ain't good.
I've seen Clinton in the dress. It's great. It's you're right. It's not good for Trump because he's not in the dress at the front door as you come in for the whole world to see. But you're right. It's not good for Trump. Of course, there's some more facts here. The actual investigation that got Epstein busted was started by Trump. Yeah,
hey, Snacks, welcome back.
Initiated it. So yeah, Trump obviously narked himself out because he's such a dumb fuck. You're right.
I gotta take a break. I'll be right
so
back.
Fucking perfect, Nickel. I should buy more. No, actually, I don't have any nickel because I think you're full of shit. You just don't know the facts, Nickel. This whole investigation on Epstein was started by Trump. back in
It's all over.
2011.
Things in
Get with
there.
the facts. It's Google it, bro.
Forcing little
It's
girls
facts.
to perform
It's
oral
facts. You
sex,
can't deny it.
crackheads,
You can
bam.
hate him all you want, but you can't deny the facts.
I
See, this is the problem I
I
have
know
with
the
you.
facts
You
are
don't
he
accept the facts.
forced
The
with
fact
little
that the
girls to perform oral sex
whole
on him.
investigation was
I
started
know that's
because
a fact.
Trump narked
He's
him out
guilty as
because
hell.
he tried to pick up some chicks in Mar-a-Lago and he didn't like it. So he called the FBI and said, hey, investigate this motherfucker. He's trying to pick up 17 and 16-year-old girls at my fucking club. Yeah, Trump did that, not Biden, not Harris.
And
Trump did that. But yet you're right. He's all up in those files and it looks bad.
he was partners
Sure,
with
buddy.
Epstein.
I believe that as much as I believe
And
you
he
can
had
cook
his
fucking
own
scrambled
little
eggs
ring
without
he
breaking
had.
the scramble or the egg.
He's guilty. Y'all, if you all want the facts, go read what's being released. Don't
If
listen
you
to
want the
somebody
facts,
don't
just
that
go
can't
read the
read or
court
don't
documents.
look at it.
Court documents, because you
Go
can't
read
lie
it.
with
Go
those.
read
And
it for
that's what I
yourselves.
read.
You'll see what
I
I'm
read
saying is
court
true.
documents, but you've got, hey, listen to Will Sternum. He wrote a book of fiction. Okay, sure, yeah. Hey, listen to Jeffrey Epstein's book. He wanted to make $5 billion off of it, so he told a bunch of lies. Listen to his book. Or you can go to the courthouse and you can get the actual federal documentations where they're not lying, and you can find out Neil's right and Nichols lying. Sorry, bro. You want facts? Bring them. But you better bring receipts. Bring receipts, not just your mouth. Not just your mouth and your bad attitude and your hate.
Over a real estate
because
deal.
if you want to bring your bad attitude, your mouth, and your hate, you're going to get shut down with facts. So watch what you say, because I'm going to shut your ass down.
No facts at all. You're just picking it out of your butt and sending it on.
Yep.
Ain't no facts at all.
The federal court document but that I have, you're 100% correct. You forgot to add, I'm getting a federal court document but. But in your world, it can't happen because that would make you wrong, and gods are never wrong. I understand, Nickel, but you're wrong.
Not the evidence I read.
Well, you didn't read the right evidence. I mean, I read Shirley Temple, and Shirley Temple said stuff, but I don't use that as evidence. I mean, if you want to read Shirley Temple and take her as evidence, that's your problem, dude. Again, I say go to the court documents, because both liberals and Republicans and conservatives and then freaks can read it, and it says the same freaking thing. And the only thing that'll change that is your belief on what that in particular word means. And that means it's already gone through court, because you have some freaky liberal conservative freaky lawyer who wanted to sue because he understood what is the definition of the meaning of the word is. Hold on, does that sound familiar? Does that legal documentation sound familiar? What's the meaning of the word is? Sounds like a Bill Clinton thing in court, and he got off of a federal case. Oh, so I must know what the frick I'm talking about.
Hey, Snooks, I just want to say hi to everybody. Hold on a second, guys. And Snooks is trying to stand up for me and saying, like, hey, this is supposed to be a family show. I thought we were talking about silver. I want you guys to just chill and relax.
Well, I have not used what four-letter word have I used?
No, you're good.
I used a four-letter word.
Yeah, neither of you guys have gone over the line, in my opinion. But, you know, like if your nephew or your niece is watching or something, they're like, oh, JL.
Well, it is almost midnight all across.
And then they tune into this. So I just want...
It's from midnight till 4 a.m. I don't think too many kids are going to hit it here in America.
That's true. But I think I should do a debate. I think I'm going to set up a thumbnail. We'll talk about it backstage after. And it's going to be like Nickel versus Neil. Or Neil versus Nick. We'll talk about it. But I think we should do it.
Use Oscar. Use Yale debate standards. You got to bring facts.
I think it would be better than me doing the words game on Mondays. Like we could do it as a weekly every Monday. Instead of the words game, we'll have Nickel versus Neil, and we can hear both. Like, how more objective can you get than that? You guys are like on both. You're both on the same side, and you've got like more opposing opinions than agreeable.
No, mine's not an opinion. You haven't asked me my opinion. I've already stated, and I made this disclaimer. I give facts. My opinion is different than the facts because I am also human, but I relate my life to facts, no matter my opinion, and that's where I get in life because I don't allow feelings to divert me from facts. Feelings are your opinion. Facts are facts. My feelings get hurt all the time from facts. But I only give the facts, not my feelings.
Come on. I think we all give up facts and feelings.
Well, sometimes my feelings back,
Should.
excuse me,
Hope
sometimes
so.
facts and feelings are the same. And if the subjects are touchy, then I get to know the facts very, very well because it's a touchy subject for me. But I always come with facts.
Hey, Silver Ruger.
Not made up
That's funny you
numbers.
mentioned that because when I was in high school, and they're trying to get you prepped for university or college, and they're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to be in life? And for quite a while, I wanted to be, what do you call it? Like an international lawyer or an international diplomat or something like that. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized, like,
It's a
I don't
lifetime
actually
achievement.
want to be part of. I don't want to be part of what takes freedoms away, right? But I do. I don't mind moderating. I've done a little bit of moderating. I love debating. I love lively debate and opposing opinions. It's freaking awesome.
Well, I disagree with Emery. I think the facts are definitely the facts, and they're actually winnable. What the problem is your opinion agree with the facts, and that's what you can't win because you can never change someone's opinions with facts if they don't want to have the facts. My opinion gets changed all the time. I actually grew up. There was a blacks teacher in ninth grade. It was biology class. I can't remember her name, but she drummed into me that photosynthesis was created by light, plant, and water and chlorophyll. And that's how oxygen was created. And I found out last year that oxygens are created by rocks 2,000 meters underneath the sea. And I got real excited by that new information that proved old information that I learned at school 100% wrong. And I did several videos on that because I like the fact that I found out something that I actually enjoy learning, which is science, was proven wrong. So I give the facts. And that fact actually has not been changed in school books. I don't think they even teach that. So now they're teaching kids lies that we know are lies. They're still teaching that photosynthesis is the only way to get oxygen. That's a lie. But big government works slow, and to change the textbooks takes 5 years. So that information is not going to be updated. So for the next couple of years, we're going to have dumb kids thinking that photosynthesis is the way to get that makes the only way to make oxygen because of the slowness of the system, because the system's so big. That bothers me. But then again, it also bothers me that 30% of seniors can't read or write. Because that doesn't make for good debating partners. If 30% of your kids can't even read on the subject they're going to debate on. Oh my God, that makes a slave nation, bro. I met a guy one time, couldn't read. Oh my God. I ran away, never went back there. I just didn't want to hang around that kind of stupid. And he was stupid by choice. He had every opportunity to learn how to read. He was in his 20s at the time. He was in the 80s. He was a hillbilly. Well, not hillbilly, he'd be a redneck down in the South. Couldn't read or write. Only met one person in my life like that.
That sounds nice.
What does that sound?
So
Sounds
what are
like
you
silver.
what price are you gonna sell that, JM?
I'll skim some profits out here and there. I'd like to get some more gold, but I don't have enough money for that. So. Honestly, I'm gonna just try to hang on to as much of it as I can. I don't really have any plans to sell any. If I have to, I have to.
You gonna buy a nickel?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I said you gonna buy a nickel.
I have been buying nickel. I've bought almost all the nickel out of my local coin shop, and I'm considering buying the rest of it. Right, the Canadian pure nickel nickels, the pure nickel half dollars, and the pure nickel dollars. And I'm still like, I still find it in my pocket change all the time, almost every day.
And you do have osmium now?
A little bit, a little bit, not a whole lot. I think I got two of the smallest squares, two that were a little bigger than that, an I and a J. I never did do a video on that, did I?
I'll have to talk to you about those pieces. We can do something with them.
Well, I was checking
Make them
out
money.
Oslery website, and I really like what they're doing with the eye. They're using them as eyes in sculptures and things like that.
Who? The Osmium Institute?
Oslery.
Oslery?
Yeah, I'll show you. Oh, and I wanted to, since Snooks is here, that's perfect, because I know she was interested in this too. Here, we're going a little bit off of silver now. I just want to make sure this is showing. We'll put it full screen. So this is osmium. Here. Okay, so like this guy.
Yeah, okay.
So right in here is the osmium. That's like an O or a 0. See that?
Mm-hmm.
But they've got it in this other stuff too.
Well, at Shelby Stacker, when you say a box of nickels, are you saying Canadian or are you saying U.S.?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the metal composition is in the American coinage.
It's copper. So basically, if you buy a nickel, you're doing that for the copper, not the nickel content.
Okay.
And
I
if you're buying Canadian nickel, you're getting a nickel because it's like 9999 nickel.
I get a fair amount of American change in my pocket change too, and I always put that aside. Okay, so this is Oslery. I didn't drop the link. I will, but this is all like stone sculptures, and they're using the osmium as the eyes in it.
Yeah, I could see where different niche groups would like that type thing for specific reasons.
So $1,300 for that, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Let me.
What, a 4mm round?
I'm just going to drop the home website there, and you guys can check that out on your own time.
There's a naysayer in chat on silver.
Ganny Sowie says, I hope you cashed out. It'll drop to 30 and then sideways for another 15 years. That's the most optimistic thing I've heard all day. I heard it's going to 0, man. I heard it's going to do what oil did.
negative.
Right.
That's when I'm going to buy a whole bunch of it. When it goes -5, I'm going to get like $1 million worth of it.
Yeah. So, but it's not just that. Like they've got bracelets, earrings, luxury necklaces,
What are the
pendants,
earrings? I want to
rings,
see earrings.
watches, figurines.
Okay.
So these ones here are you can for a special price of $2,954. You can have these.
I'm looking at $26,000 one.
5,300 for these. 23,000 for these. 26,000.
Hold on. What's that? Palace Collectibles?
Palais.
Is that 1 million?
Yeah, it is. I'll add it to my cart, guys. Should I add this? Oh, Canadian.
1
That's
million?
Canadian though. Oh, you know what? It's recognized that I'm in Canada, so it's actually giving Canadian prices.
Okay, so it's probably like 900, 800,000 for that.
Yeah.
Gerald, you seeing this? That's 6 figures, bro. Yeah, I'd love to see it drop to 32 silver. How much is that one?
I think it's the same set.
That's a ring.
I think it's it's Palais collection.
Yeah, the collection is okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That explains it more.
Yeah.
How many is in the collection? 5 pieces, 6 pieces? 1, 2, 3.
Looks like 5.
5 pieces. Okay, that's doable.
But this is one of the 5.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
that's
you're getting a lot
around
of
it. What is that pinkish colored shit?
I don't know, man. Like I'm just surfing the web here.
I like it. I'm getting inspired.
Yeah. They got all sorts of stuff. Like look at these rock star earrings for 24 grand.
That's actually badass. But for 24 grand, and that's silver. That's not platinum. Oh my God, I'm going to be so rich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 10, probably 3 millimeters and 2 5 millimeters. So that'd be 6 and 4.
You know what, buddy? It's not silver. It's white gold.
Oh, okay. White gold. It's not platinum. And white gold's, isn't it cheaper?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that myself personally. If anyone in chat knows.
That's cool, guys. Is if you know guys that are all GQ and everything, and they're right into the high end watches. Like Kevin O'Leary and some of these other billionaires. Osmium is now making its way into the very, very high end watch market as well. Typically being used as the face, but you can see here it's even just being used as an accent.
See, they're not doing what my idea for. I've got an idea to bring to that market that I don't see that they've
and mother of pearl. That one has mother of pearl in it.
Looks like
good eye, Nickel.
It could be Ethiopian white opal.
Opal's very fragile, though, isn't it? And it's
I got 12 pieces. I got 12 pieces of the white opal. It looks very similar. Actually, they shows off more color, so it might be more what Nickel said.
So we agree.
Yeah, the white opal.
This is actually, you guys could have this for under $100,000.
Sweet, that's a killer deal, man. Let me go to my bank account. For less than $1, I'm all over it. Yeah, I'm not talking too much, Jerry. I'm just making observations. That's why I like what JM's doing, because I'm really getting inspired. What are they not doing? That's why I look at things differently than other people.
There's a lot of creativity going on here. This is a fairly simple thing you can do with the letters, because they've got all the letters and numbers. And they've got, like angels and stars and images. But there's a Y in.
How
I'm
much
not
are they
sure what
asking
the
for that?
count is. 1,600.
Wow.
Okay, let's go back to silver. That was osmium. It is a variety channel that I'm running here, so we do bounce around the subjects from time to time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, osmium's definitely not for everyone. And I also like the blue hue of it. When they crystallize the osmium, and it's in a crystallized osmium form, not only do you get that blue hue, you get the refractive colors that hit it as well. It's pretty badass. Sorry for the bad language.
It's all right. Look at that daily candle, guys. From the peak to the trough, what did we calculate that out at?
It was like 45%, because it was like 73. You said was the low, so that's $55 drop. That's almost 50%.
Okay. Any mathematicians Neil, can you and Nickel just monitor the chat here for a minute? Any mathematicians in here, can you calculate what the percentage drop was in the last 2 days, where we went from a high of $121.67?
Well, I know it was 28% today alone, I think.
But let's calculate it based on this. So the high was, once again, 121.67.
And the low is 73.
The low is, 73.30. Just off the top of our heads.
$49 drop on 100. So 60 would be half. So 49 is what of 60? 5/6.
So just monitor the chat there, because I'm doing this. And then I also want to see what the percentage return was on the bounce back from the absolute low to where it closed. Okay. So here's the second calculation. The absolute low was $73.30. $73.30, and then it closed at 85.18.
46% drop. Low.
Hey guys, that's a $12 per ounce recovery.
Yeah.
Bounce back. $12.
I know I'm bidding on silver quarters. And when I started the bidding, which is you got to put your final bid, that you're willing to go, I was about 100 under, and now I'm just 7 under on what their quarters are worth. So that's how big of a deal it was.
So you lost a bit.
No, I haven't won it yet. Somebody might come up and outbid me, but if they don't, that's fine. But I'll just sit on them until silver goes back up. But
gotcha.
But yep.
So you're still buying?
Well, I bid. That don't necessarily mean I win. I don't win Constitutional very often. I don't win Silver Eagles very often. I do win foreign currency more silver in the foreign currency. People don't seem to want that at all. So I get a good deal on it. I'm still winning silverware. So, I'm getting good deals on it. I think today I got my shipment in today. I got a knife that has gold on it. I think it's 10 karat. And I got out of my silverware, I got at least, I think there's some others that are silver. I have to test them because it doesn't say plated and it doesn't say sterling. But on the ones that are silver, I got about $300. Even now, the price now, I got about $300 out of it, and I only paid like $107 for all the items in there. So still 3-1. That's not bad.
Nice. That's right on, man. So are you still doing like lawn care and all that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm doing it. That's a lot tougher competition these days because everybody's suffering so bad because the economy stinks, and so everybody's doing that. I mean, they're doing another job and they're doing that too. So a lot of competition now in there.
Have you seen the YouTube channel Florida Turf Pros?
I don't think that doesn't ring a bell with me. I do watch some of them when they get the new equipment because I like to see the latest equipment that comes out.
Florida Turf Pros is a YouTube channel, and it's a guy that he grew his landscaping business from pretty much nothing to huge, and he shows you how he does it and how to take it, scale it up, and build route density and all this sort of thing while being thrifty. I think you'd really quite like it. I'll actually do a share screen on it. I'd recommend you check out, when you're bored or whatever. Because as you know, I was looking into getting into that as well.
Yeah, you ought to be able to do that in the dog care. You could do both, I think.
Oh yeah.
I might have seen this guy. If he's the one that had a zero turn that was all electric, that may be it. That may be the guy I did. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the channel, but I was watching that because I'm thinking my next mower I think I'm going to get an all electric zero turn.
Hey, Mary, good to see you. Welcome in. Yeah, I watched quite a few of his videos. He's a really good coach. Like if you wanted to start your own landscape business and grow it. See his most popular video, 355,000 videos, master this technique.
He doesn't do the Bobcat mulching machine. That's the next level up from the businesses he's showing. Was actually
I think he does everything. I think he's into everything.
You're showing that shows him on that.
Yeah, why they switched
bottom right. What's that one on the bottom right? That red machine. Nope, that's not it. That's a mower.
I think it's is that a Toro? Nope, Gravely.
That's a Gravely. Anyway, yeah, I know there's good money in it. I see guys when I'm walking the dogs. The one guy I was talking with him, he runs a landscape company, and he says he works here in Canada. I'm near Toronto, so he works here 8 months of the year doing all the landscaping and mowing the lawns, getting ready for spring and for winter. And then he's down south for the other 4 months of the year. Just relaxing.
Wow. In the private chat, I put a link. It's actually for a Bobcat mulcher, but man, that's a long ass link, bro. It's in the private chat.
I'd say.
I think robotic mowers will be a big part of the future.
Yeah, for home and garden, for people home and garden, for homesteader people or people with acreage, I doubt it. Because you still need a tractor with a big fucking 6-footer so you can knock it out quick. Yeah, that right there. If you have one of those as a business, you're making money. You can go through 2 to 3 to 5 acre lots that actually are growing little small pine trees that are 2 to 3 foot tall that really a mower can't hit, and everything's smaller and mulch it up. There's a good business in that in pretty much every town.
I was getting a kick out of watching a lot of the snow removal videos, like in Switzerland and Sweden, and up in the mountains where they get hit really hard.
There's a lot of money in that but you got to remember it's going to be cold when you're at work.
Oh yeah,
That's the problem with that work. I'd rather go
6.5 years. Gerald ran a waste transfer facility and dealt with landscapers to Laidlaw, BFI Superior, you name it. We did land clearing, tree service, railroad tie remediation, mulch materials. Nice. That's heavy duty. Shadowworks got the question: how many more $15 trillion days can the markets handle?
Oh, it's going to snap. They're, back during the Biden administration, when he was trying to kill the economy, they were saying he's either going to kill the economy or kill the dollar.
Well, my understanding,
the dollar's the one you want to go, not the economy. So the dollar's going to go away. However many more $15 million swings it takes to bring that to fruition is how many it takes. That's my opinion. But
look at the volumes. Look at the volumes increasing here, guys. My understanding is even back here, mid and towards the end of 2025, they were trading. There was more silver being traded on the paper markets than is mined in an entire year globally.
This greed.
Now, these bottom lines are the volumes. So that says to me that for this past week, on a typical day, they were trading almost 2 times the annual mining supply of silver in a day.
Free money. You want money for nothing. Paper, silver's free money.
Yeah.
Anytime you hear about that, what do they call them? Not derivatives.
It is. Derivatives, that's right.
Yeah. Anytime you hear a company offering derivatives, that's just they're making money out of nothing, basically. If you're concerned about crypto, there's been the same type of crypto thing going on in the stock market for decades. Create silver out of nothing, create gold out of nothing. It's ETFs too. ETFs, silver ETFs, gold ETFs, platinum ETFs, all that paper metal is like, it's going to fucking kill everything.
Take care, Shadow Work. Yeah, I'm fixing to shut this down probably in the next 10 or 15 minutes. So if there's anything else you guys wanted to talk about, just throw it out there.
You get a lot of views.
Should I add platinum and gold in here too for context?
Everyone make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. Man, I would shoveling snow. Yeah, back when was it? 1974, 75, and 76. I lived at Auburn Head Lighthouse. I was in 3rd and 4th grade. It borders the North Sea. It's the most it's the northernmost land-based lighthouse in Scotland. And back in 74, 5, and 6, there was only one fireplace in the 2-story house. If you look at the pictures, there's a house connected to the lighthouse, and then a separate house where we stayed in, a separate house, 2-story house. On the south end is where the fireplace was. My room was on the north end, 2nd floor. and there was no electricity to that house. We had gas for cooking and that one fireplace. So anytime someone says something about cold, the reason why I say move south is because I've experienced it. I moved south. That shit, it's too cold. I couldn't imagine being snowed in where you have to dig yourself out. I'm
Okay,
over
so what I'm going to do here is cherry pick this time on this chart from the peak, or what appears to be the peak, and show you what dropped how much. Seems to be right there. So from that peak where we saw that smackdown in silver, down here at the bottom, it looks like silver dropped about 28%. Platinum
That was
dropped
the final number, yeah.
and gold dropped about 11.
Platinum dropped 23.
Yeah. So the problem with this chart is that it's a mountain chart. It's not actually the candles, so you can't see that massive up and down so much. But we're going to put this out on the monthly because that's what we started with for the thumbnail.
Yeah, I think platinum was down like $600-700.
How did I do that thumbnail? It was
How's it going, Angela Barnes?
hey, Ange. Oh, no worries, Angela. We got that all figured out. We're good. Hey, F37, good to see you. Welcome in. Oh, we got the poll question too. Yeah, let's end the poll question. The poll question was, when will silver spot price hit 200? 70% said this year. 21% said next year. No one said 2028, and 9% said no idea. Nice. 35 people in that vote.
Sweet. Good participation.
Okay, anything else, Nickel? What do you think? Buy, sell, hold, jump out of the windows?
Well, if you just got in and you bought a bunch, I think it'd be insane to sell because you can't possibly. You're not going to make any money. You would just lose. So you got to sit on it now. If you bought like I did, you can sell anytime you want to sell. I mean, at least sell enough to get your original money out of it, so you can never lose.
Yeah, or skim your profits out, right? I think skimming a little bit out's good on the, like, I wouldn't do it right now because it just dropped like 30 or 40%.
But know this, if you do 10,000 buying or selling, you got to fill out forms. And in some states now, if you do 4,000, you would have to fill a form out. So
that's why you liquidate it slowly over time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do it as you're going up. And that's what I was going to say. Like say you bought it, say 30. Well, hell, once it got to 90 on the way up, you should have started pulling your original investment back out. Because at 3 times the profit margin, 3 times your original investment, you could pull out 30% of whatever. Say you start out with 100 ounces, you could have sold 30 ounces and the price of silver still would have matched your or doubled your initial investment. And you'd have had your initial investment back. So therefore, it would be no big deal. And then you just walk away and let your profit margin ride.
It's a beautiful thing. And like I know you were talking about the stocks earlier. And I think that's a beautiful thing too. Like if you're buying stocks that are paying dividends or will pay dividends.
That's the best thing in the world, especially if you get in real early.
Yeah. The only thing is it's taxable. And that's one of the things I love about just buying bullion is it's not about trading at all. It's just about buying it and holding it.
Every now and then you come across its stock.
Because every time you do a transaction, you're losing much more. on the physical than you would if you were just doing paper trades.
Every now and then, there's a stock that comes along, and if you can buy it cheap enough, and the first round of dividends it pays is more than what you paid for that stock, that is better than gold. Because that, if it's a biannual or annual thing, and you can look at Impala and Angola, number 1 and 2 platinum miners, and see when they started out 40, 45 years ago, when they started pulling ore out of the ground, and what their stock price was, what their first dividend payment was, all this other stuff. Right now, Impala's is 6%. So if you get in to like Clean Air Metals, this platinum stock that I'm looking at, it will pay dividends because all platinum stocks pay dividends. It's not a platinum miner just yet. And this is the unique part of this in particular stock. It's an exploration company. Yeah. It's doing the paperwork to transition over to a mining company. And assets are reevaluated differently depending on if you're a surveying company or a mining company. They already surveyed and have the mining rights for the platinum. And they've already done the paperwork and started the paperwork to convert over to a mining company. When they convert to a mining company, they're going to have trillions of dollars of assets overnight. Right now, they got a 27 million market cap. When that paperwork, we're just talking about paper, silver, and gold and all the money in that. Well, when the paperwork converts from them being an exploration and them going to mining, and they already have a stockpile of a 1 mile long vein from 400 to 600 meters, and they're still finding more. All you can do is look at the old platinum miners when they first started and see when they started paying dividends, how much it was. So if the stock jumps up to $1 and they're paying 6%, you're getting 6 cents. If they pay it twice yearly, then if you bought under a dime and you're getting biannual 6% or 6.38%, whatever 6% say, you're going to get in that first returns more than you paid for the stock. Every year after that is pure profit margin. What's the problem?
Now, Mary says here,
problem with taxes? It's pure profit.
Yeah. Mary says, I heard bullion brings less to sell. Is that true? I don't know how much, but I bought a 5-ounce bar at $25. Hey, if you bought a 5-ounce bar for $25, you were rocking it.
Dude, you are not kidding.
Yeah, no, I think bullion.
Hold on to it for a couple more months.
But bullion's the most desired. It still is, and
yeah.
I think constitutional is actually more desirable than sterling, because sterling, the process that they have to do to recycle it, it's a little bit different. So I still think bullion is. I think that's what most people want.
Okay, it was 25 an ounce. Okay, so you still did good. 25 an ounce. That's. I think my average cost is just a little under 25, which is still,
But I still believe in physical. I believe everything should be physical. That way you can't get shut out of the system.
As far as liquidity goes, if you guys don't like stocks, try and sell an ounce of gold right now and see how long it takes you to get your money, and then try and sell a stock and see how long it takes to get your money. You'll get your money overnight with the stock. It'll take you 2 weeks to get your money from a sold piece of gold.
Nope. When I send my gold in, I get payment in as soon as I get the offer. If I say yes, it goes directly into.
When's the last time you sold gold?
Oh, I sold it within 2 weeks.
But he's saying that he had an established relationship.
Was it an ounce of gold that you sold?
Oh yeah, it was.
How long have you been dealing with this?
22 karat gold necklace. I got right at $4,000 for it.
How long have you had a relationship with the individual you were working with?
I've been trading with them now for about half of that year, 1 year, and then a little over a year.
Yeah, that's enough.
That's more than long enough. Most people only see an LLC once every year, less than that, once a decade.
Well, that's good, man. That's right on.
Yeah, you established a relationship. He's giving you a special deal. What my LLC says is she says, you want to sell me an ounce of gold? It'll take 2 weeks for me to get you to cash because the smelters the smelters, the people that melt it, they're
Yeah.
not paying for 2 weeks. So I don't know who your guy's selling to, but he's not selling it to the smelters that are on the West Coast. Oh, we don't have smelters on the West Coast, so they got to send it somewhere. It's probably the same place, but they're not accepting gold from California payment for 2 weeks, and that's from the smelters.
Oh, I see what Quad's saying here. Quad was saying if you bought a 5-ounce bar for $25, it's fake. Gotcha. Yeah, easy mistake to make. That's part of the thing with live chat.
No, my smelter guy he's buying constitutional. I don't know for sure on that, but he says on Eagles or bullion, he'll give me $2 under spot, and on my 925, he'll give me 70% of spot. And of course, gold, I get 85% of spot.
That's horrible.
Well, but is it based on, so when he says it's say 85% of spot, is that based on 85% of the weight of what's actually in there as the alloy, or the total weight of the alloy?
The total amount of gold. He'll give me 85%. What
So
the
that
gold
is not, that's not bad then.
No.
That's not bad. In fact, that's about right.
Yeah, because the best I've ever got is 90. So 90%. So 85 is not bad. Plus, they pay the shipping for me to get it there. They pay the insurance. They do everything. So I don't have to do any of that.
You know, so from time to time, you know, we have our differences and things like that, but I was thinking that you and Neil should actually form a
No.
joint partnership corporation.
No.
No, I do. I think
And I'm telling you right
you
now,
really get along well.
so keep thinking about it. 'Cause it's not going to happen.
It'd
that's
make
like
a great reality. Like, let's say the two of you guys opened a pawn shop together.
no, Lord.
That'd be freaking awesome.
Nope.
That'd be awesome.
Uh,
I'd pay to see that.
it would be like ebony and ivory, salt and pepper.
Nope.
Uh,
I like my sanity too much, brother.
I know, but I hope you understand the humor that I'm getting at.
I'd more likely get married before I'd have a show with Nicole.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, guys, so I'm going to shut this down now. I think we covered all of our thoughts and feelings. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say before I shut her down?
Be kind, helpful, and grateful. It's better than being a jerk.
Sounds good. Nickel?
read the facts. That's all I can say on that.
And what's your source on that? Where are you going to read the
The,
facts?
the DOJ.
Make sure Oprah's not your facts.
The DOJ, when they release these files, you got to get there as soon as they release it. If you don't, as soon as they release it, they take it off. Because technically they say, well, see, we released it, but they don't want it to stay out there. So, but there's a lot of people that's copied it. They have it, they said, and they're showing it what they said. So you can still read it. Just look around, do it in the search.
What are these files that disappeared?
No, they're deleting it as soon as they put it out.
What files? What files are they deleting, disappearing, making go to heaven,
Epstein
go to
files.
hell, leaving from our atmosphere? What files?
Epstein files.
Oh my God, no, they're out there, man. I'm not even gonna Google that. That's foolishness. Yeah, no, the files are out there. You can actually get them. I've seen the 300,000 copies a day they turned out, which, by the way, is 1,000 times better than the Biden administration turned out.
Okay, guys. Well, it's been
let's blame the guys that are in there for turning it out, because they're doing what they're telling us that we've wanted to do, that no other president would do, but they're doing. So let's be pissed at them for doing it. Wonderful. That would make someone want to continue doing good for you, being treated like shit like that, in my opinion. Sorry for bad language.
And prepared for the impeachment proceedings. That's all I can say. Other than that, I'm out.
Yeah, Biden's not in office. No impeachment's coming. Oh, by the way, the Democrats are losing 30 seats in Congress and will never hold power again, much less be the president.
We need to bet on that one.
Goodbye. How much you want?
What you got? Do you
How
have
much you want?
Do you have
I'll do
anything?
$100. $100 right now. 2028,
you're gonna
2026
wait,
elections, they're going to have 30 less seats.
Okay, wait a
$100
second.
now.
Wait a
Put your
second.
money
Hold on,
put your
JM.
money where your mouth is. $100. I
No,
told you.
no. So what's the
I
bet?
told you $100. You said how much? I said $100. No more.
No, what's
one
the bet?
person,
You going to take it or not?
one person at a time. So Neil, what's the offer?
What's the bet?
$100. Democrats
$100.
going to lose 30 seats in Congress because of this, the Supreme Court ruling.
So you say the House that the Republicans will control the House by 30 seats after this election. Is that what you're saying?
No, you see, as a liberal, you always change the words that came out of my mouth, because somewhere between the words that came out of my mouth and your ears and your brain, the world shifted into I am God. What I said, please, it's being recorded, you can go back and check, is the Democrats will lose 30 seats. There could be a new party called the Booba 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 from Ibby 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 party that gets those seats. I don't know. That's not what I said. What I said was exactly what I said. If you change the words, you're a piece of crap, because you heard what I said. Don't disrespect me by changing what I said.
So you're saying they're gonna pick up 30.
So again, you're being an asshole. No, I didn't say the Republicans are going to pick up 30. I said the Democrats are going to lose 30. There's a difference.
Well, what's the difference? If they lose
what the
30,
difference is a constitutional ruling is going to be changed by the Supreme Court saying that you can't fucking do congressional districts by color. And you're going to find 30 congressional districts were drawn by color. And they're unconstitutional and they're going to go away. Liberal boy.
Yeah, so they're going to look like a shape of a banana for the Republicans.
No.
All right,
they're just going to negate them. And Minnesota has already lost one congressional district by the amount of illegal Somalians they've deported. Oh my God! So
you're saying
the
you're saying
illegal
no blue wave.
Somalians were able to get enough votes to get the Democrats one congressional. That should concern you, my brother, if you're an American. I mean, if you want to overthrow America, you'll like that. But if, as an American citizen, if you find out that the people they've already deported in Michigan is enough people of one group to diminish one congressional seat, how much fucking corruption are you going to back, big man?
Well, I don't normally bet, but if you're going to say that, and this is the real terms, you're going to say that the Democrats gain 30, the Republicans gain 30, and the Democrats lose 30.
I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to deal with you ever on anything, because you're an idiot.
I would bet 100 on that. I know
no, I'm not taking a bet from an idiot who will change the rules when he loses, and you just proved you changed the rules. I never said the Republicans. I've said it 3 times, 4 times now. The Republicans will not gain. I'll say it 5 times. The Republicans will not gain. I'll say it 6 times, because I know you're an idiot and you didn't hear the first 6 times. Let me say it a 7th time. The Republicans will not gain 30 seats. The Democrats will lose.
Wait a minute. Time out.
Hold on. No. The Democrats will lose 30 seats. Hold on. No. You got to say it 7 times, because you're really stupid. And I've already said it 5 times.
Neil, relax.
How have I missed this
stupid,
here?
Man. He can't hear my fucking words. That's disrespectful.
JM, if there's 435 seats,
dude, I'm the fuck out of here. You're an idiot, man. I'm not playing your fucking stupid games.
I'm going to ask JM. If you lose 30, then that means the other picks up 30. Is that not correct?
I don't know. Like, figures can lie and they can be deceiving. So I don't know. I haven't studied that. I'd have to look into it. I'll take your word.
If the bet is, if he thinks that the Democrats are going to lose 30 seats, and then the majority of the Republicans is going to be greater, yeah, I would be more than glad to bet him on that 100, because he's got no chance. It's just the way it is. Now, Senate, I would not bet on the Senate, because the Senate is in a particular situation that it favors Republicans, even though things are terrible and the economy's going down, and we're probably going to end up collapsing. The dollar's going to probably crash, and inflation continues to go up. By the way, that's the facts. And if that's what he's going to say, I can't give you a number on the Senate, because it's probably just too close to call on that, But I will say in the House that definitely the Democrats will take the House back. There's no doubt about it. So that's what the bet should be: is do they take the House back or not? And I would be more than glad to bet him 100 if he says that the Democrats won't take the House back.
Okay, so for it to be done properly, both of you have to put the $100 up first, right? And then
well, we're going to do that. Send it to you.
Yeah, put me in the middle on it. No. But we could vote for someone to be put in the middle on it.
Well, it's not going to be Gerald Draper. I'll never see the 100 even if I win.
Yeah, I don't really like betting against my friends.
But he suggested it. Did he or did he not bring it up that we should bet?
I'm gonna have to review this, guys. I'm gonna. Should I do a poll question? Should I run this entire live stream through an AI generator?
But I tell you this, I got the
To
feeling
pull
if
it
I
out?
win, it would be maybe 5 or 6 years before I would get paid. But anyway. Is that a Sterling
So you
Silver
guys-
ring you got? Is that a Sterling Silver ring you have on?
Yes. And that pile there is plastic, right? This video is actually a pot. It's called a pot of gold for thieves. So
It's not the question, Gerald. It's a fact. But anyway, you go ahead. Anyway, let me say it ring again real quick for me. It's a chain. That's a chain ring.
yes, it was sterling silver.
That's a pretty cool ring. And it's bigger than what I see. Of course, usually I buy the ones that women wear, but
You know
And
what?
then
I had already stacked so much bullion and everything. I like diversifying. You know, not just in silver, but like in everything. So I was always monitoring their jewelry website, and man, back around 2020 is when I stocked up on probably half of what I have. What the hell was this about? I went to a party shop to get those those fake coins. Here, I'll put the audio in here. It's a pot of gold.
Yeah, look, I'm being called a coward. Did I not say I would do the $100 bet? So how am I a coward? I'm meeting it. I'm telling you.
Oh, relax. You know what? I think a lot of people love the hype and they love the drama.
I think he'll be lucky if he makes it through his 4 years. That's just my personal opinion. I got one of those. Silver, Shelby Stacker. I do not think we've been to the moon.
I don't think so either.
Well, we might have been to the moon since then. We didn't go to the moon in 69. I can't say we haven't gone to the moon since then, but we didn't go in 69, I don't think.
Hey, Ellie, how's it going?
She just now asking that. I did the ball games and got in trouble for it. So they banned me for life. And I'm lucky to still have this one. And the only reason why I do is because they want me to come on and still watch videos and stuff and see advertising. Or I don't think I'd even have this one. But they took all 4 of my other channels off. I didn't even do anything on some of them. And they took my nickel stacker off, which, so it was pretty serious. I had no strikes, no warnings, no nothing. So they went 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike, you're out. And all one shot. So, because I did the radio games of the Indiana basketball teams. Even though I did it for 2.5 years and I never got in trouble, never got a warning, they decided all of a sudden that I need to be taken down. So that's what happened.
Do you have a Rumble channel?
I don't do Rumble because I only use a computer, and it's too hard to do it over there. You got to do this or that or do something. I tried one time, and I never could get it to work. So Facebook will probably be where I go. I got a potential 2 million viewers there. I've got almost 5,000 subs, so that would be probably the logical thing to do is go there and do that.
Okay. I was going to say Rumble's really your place to go. Anyone, if you're getting strikes on YouTube, I think you're going to get strikes on Facebook for the same sort of content, even though you may have more subscribers there. I think Rumble's probably your place to go. I'm trying to figure it out too, and I recognize it's totally different.
Nope, it was not political. It was all the ball games. So that's what the nail.
Because it was copyrighted. but I
Yeah,
think
well, yeah, the radio, it does say it on there. I have to admit I'm guilty of it because it did say.
Yeah.
See, I can admit I'm wrong. I think that the other person has a hard time doing that. But anyway, I will bet him 100 if he wants to say the terms are that the Democrats will not gain control of the House. If he wants to bet me, they will not. I will bet him 100. Matter of fact, I might be willing to go 1,000, but I know I would never ever see 1,000. So
I'll tell you what. I can guarantee you, I wouldn't bet on that. I don't follow politics that closely.
The Democrats are going to even with the illegal redistricting, they're going to pick up between, I think, 40 and 50, maybe even 60 seats. It's going to be a bloodbath. And even Trump's admitted it. Even he's admitted it. He's telling the people to get out there and you better do something to win these. So, and then once he loses the House, his presidency's all but over. So that's it.
That right there is a tube of 1/4 ounce silver. So this video here that I'm sharing is all about fractional silver. And I was buying fractional silver back, around 2020 because like everything was so cheap. It had just got monkey hammered.
And what Nickel was threatening, pushing violence. I wasn't threatening violence. I just think that we could have a civil war. It's very possible. And if you don't see what's going on in Minnesota, I'm telling you now, we could very well have a civil war on this. The country's 50-50 split. Trump did not win any, what do you want to call it, a sweep, what do they call it? Landslide. It was no landslide. You can't have landslides when the country's 50-50. It's just not going to happen.
Well, I pray for unity. It's right in the name there. United States of America. It's not the freaking divided States of America.
We're divided. That's just face the music. That's the way it is right now. We're divided. I don't even think a 911 could bring us together. I don't. I don't think it would.
Well, obviously,
I think both sides could blame the other for it.
Yeah. No, a 911 won't bring it together. I think a lot of that was actually divisive as well. There's so much mind control. How do you know?
And then as far as Iran goes, I got to be dead against it because Iran never did anything to us. You got to be able to point out to me, where did Iran attack us? They haven't. And so I don't believe in striking somebody and killing their people and doing all this stuff if they didn't do nothing to us. They haven't done anything to us. They really haven't.
Yeah, Al, that's a little 5 gram bar. It's a little 5 gram. I got a bunch of a lot of it's Monarch precious metals. Oh, there's some Scottsdale fractionals. That one's got some toning or milk spotting or whatever, but that's 1/2 ounce. So what do you think about nickel? Nickel?
I think it's the best deal out there. I think it has gone up a little bit. It's in the $8 range. It's been ranging between $8.30 and $8.50. So
for your average American or Canadian, but let's say American, what's your best way to acquire nickel if you want to invest in it seriously? Is it like an ETF for mining stocks, or is it actually getting physical?
It depends, I guess, on how. If you live in an apartment, you're probably going to have a hard time having room to actually physically stack it.
Yeah.
I got sheds. I've got all this, that, and the other. I can put it in. So I got no problem, but I believe in the physical stacking. I think that when you have that, you have it. Nobody can really take it unless they break into your home, and you can't be shut out of the system. This military guy what's his name? He goes on all these shows. He used to be an inspector, nuclear weapons inspector. They locked him out. They shut his bank accounts down. They shut everything down on him. And the only thing he had that got him through that period before he could do something different, come up, he had a couple gold ounce eagles. And he said he took that and cashed them in, and that's how he got the money to survive on it. Scott Ritter, they completely shut him down. And he had, no bank account. Credit cards, he said, they wouldn't have let him use that anyway. But he said they were from Christmas shopping. He said he couldn't go there. So he was in a world of hurt. So, like I said, if they want to shut you down, the government, and they don't have to have a trial, they don't have to indict you, they don't have to do anything. All they got to do is send a form out to the bank you use. You're out of it. They can shut you out. You cannot get any money out of the bank. You cannot use your bank card. Nothing. That's what they did to him, and he had to go to get another bank account later, and he had to, do something different. And not only that,
that's the problem with everything digital. If it's digital, they can shut it off. They can prune it back.
You see, I'm out. I'm really out of the system, so I don't have to worry about that.
It's good. Welcome in, Michelle. We've got Michelle Noel Creations in the house. Mary is here.
But if you're gonna get nickel, the best thing, I got nickel bars, but you can get those. But the Canadian nickel is one of my favorites because of the quality, the bunch of the purity of the nickel in that. You can't go much better than that, and that's probably the way to go if you can get your hands on them. And I don't even know if that lady was on eBay. I don't know if she's still on there or not. I haven't looked her up in a while to see if she was still selling Canadian nickels. But she was one of the only ones in the United States that you could actually get Canadian nickels from. I bought a ton of those. I bought a lot from her.
So now the thing I don't like about nickel is, I already mentioned this. And what did you say? I don't like the fact that it's not antimicrobial, antibacterial, antiviral, all the things that I love about silver. How do you get over that if you're stacking it, and how do you capitalize on that? Let's say you're stacking the physical and nickel price goes up 10 times. Where are you going to sell it?
There's a refinery here near me that buys copper, nickel, lead, brass. I got all that stuff. So he will buy all that from you.
You think that's fairly common to have a refinery like that? If they're buying most scrap metals, they'll buy nickel.
Well, you got junkyards too. The junkyards will take it.
How much back of melt do they pay?
I've never dealt with a junkyard. I have no idea. So,
but the guy that you deal with?
Well, if I did deal with him, I haven't sold any nickel or copper. So if I do, I know where to go. But I don't know for sure what his rates are. But
you should test it or call him and ask.
But if you get 20, even within 20%, that's good.
Okay. To me, anything more than 10% is, it just feels desperate. You know what I mean? If you're operating on high volume, you shouldn't need to make more than 10%. But if it's a small or younger company, I can see, you got to get more than that.
Well, if it goes up, what you said, and then you figure in what I have, and then I figure in I get 80% of that, I'm going to make really good money on it.
Yeah.
No use being a hog. So, and they are in business. So.
Do you do any scrapping of appliances like microwaves, washing machines, dryers, anything like that for the metals in them?
No, I do not. But I know that I've seen channels that do, and I know they get quite a bit of metal out of the microwave.
Yeah.
They do
My
washers and
microwave,
dryers too.
here just died, and so I was looking into it, and it looks like there's maybe $7 or $8 worth of copper, most likely, and a little bit of other, but probably $15 is about the max that you'll get out of it. Okay, so here's this is all about nickel, pure silver, and nickel beavers.
Yeah, I'll show real quick. Wait a minute. Let me get the light on. I'll show you some of the stuff I picked up real quick. Let me see. I got a good deal on it. All right. Let me see. I'll show you.
Hold on.
Okay, this is gold. This part here is not the blades. You'd have to take those out. But I believe it's 10 karat. It's got writing up here, but I can't make it out. But I do see some numbers. So I believe it's 10 karat. I have to test it. These are silver. I got some of them. And this is silver. You ever seen a silver shaver? Sterling.
Nice.
Now this, a couple auctions back, I got for about $1. It's sterling, and it's before the crash.
That's honking.
Huh?
That's a honking spoon, man. Like, can you imagine soaking your soup?
But it'd be great for mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
But or flinging something. But no, it's I finally found where sterling was marked on it, and it is it was worth about $500 until the big sell off or whatever happened, paper sell off or whatever.
Whatever. So it's still 400.
Probably, yeah. And I probably paid about $1 for
it. Right on, buddy.
So that's what really silverware is a great silver item if you want to get it. Mm-hmm. And then I got these the other day, and this part here I believe is silver. I can't find a marking on it. This isn't. This is stainless, and I can prove it because it's got some. See right here, the rust. It wouldn't do that with silver, so we know that's not. But this part here looks like silver on the handle, and then I got.
Oh, it's probably if it's rusting, it's probably just plated.
No, it's just stainless steel or something. The blades are.
Where do you go for your auctions, Nickel?
Online, you can go to like auction.com and you just put in there your zip code. It'll take you to that state, and then you can look on there and see which ones you want to do. If it's not within driving range, if you're willing to go 2 hours, no problem. If not, you're going to have to ship it. You got to figure that in. They're going to want between 10 and 15% commission on what you buy. You got to add that on, and you got to add on what the shipping's going to be. But now some of them are really good deal shipping. It's cheaper, believe it or not. One auction house in Ohio, when they send it to me, it's less expensive to send it to me than the one I had about 2 hours away from me here in Indiana. It was a lot different on the shipping. You wouldn't believe how different in the price. The Ohio shipping was like half. And I go, how can that be? You're in Ohio. You're a lot farther away from me than just 2 hours from me here. And so, and you're in state. You would think the shipping would be cheaper in state. It's not necessarily always that way.
Well, you've got the experience in that sort of thing, so that's really cool.
And then I got a gold bracelet here. I'm going to be sending in soon. I got I separate everything. I got copper.
Do you do any trading online?
When you say trading, what do you mean by that? This is Goldfield.
Like, do you buy any like ETFs or stocks or anything like that?
No, I have AT&T. I had that back. I got that back when the stock market crashed in 2008. So I've had it all that long. I just take the dividends and reinvest it back into the stock, and I just let it grow stock.
Nice.
And that way I don't have to worry about taxes on it.
Yeah.
And so, but
Okay, so you're not like trading stocks or ETFs or cryptos or anything like that at all.
no crypto. I don't believe in it. I think it's I still think it's a sham. I still think it's going to fail. I don't go for that. The stocks, sure. Matter of fact, I'm probably will be inheriting some more AT&T stocks from an aunt. So I'll have that. And I do, they pay pretty decent dividends. I think if you can get dividends, that's the road to go on it.
Yeah.
And let's see what else investment. I got ivory, lots of ivory. And then I'm metal, silver, gold, platinum, palladium, osmium, nickel, copper, lead, aluminum. I got brass.
And brass is really pretty much pure nickel too, right?
It's got a lot of nickel in it. And I do art. I've got a bunch of art, and when I say a bunch.
Yeah, I'm petty. I hope you don't have any of that Hunter Biden art.
No, I don't got anything made by elephants, like for the trunk, and I don't have him. So,
okay, right on. So the whole idea here with this video was I was featuring Nichols because I had met Nickel Stacker, who I have on the panel here at this very moment, and he got me interested in investing in nickel, and I started buying 5-pound bags of these pure Canadian nickels, and you'll see it in a minute. But then the 5 rounds that you see beneath this beaver nickel are actually commemorating the beaver nickel, but they're 2-ounce silver round, pure silver rounds. We'll keep this going so you can see.
but the secret to what I do is when I use the auctions is you win 100 in auctions, you get 300 silver. Then if you sold that, then if you put that 300 back in, and then you got 900, then 927. That's kind of how you do it, and then you can just kind of build up money doing that. So, but mostly what I do is I use gold. If I find gold, I flip it immediately, and then I take that and just take that money and keep bidding on auctions.
That's a snapshot there of one of the 5-pound bags of pure nickels that I got. And I was actually getting them below melt price.
But don't you still get them in your change? Like when you get change back, don't you still get the nickel?
Yes, indeed.
See, we don't have that advantage here. We get back copper. Which is good. Copper's good too. Copper's probably going to go to 30 a pound. So that's not bad. I like copper.
Oh, I really like copper. Like as far as electrical conductivity, it's really close to silver. It's really close. But at the end of the day, it can't compete with silver in a lot of the electronic applications. Especially if you're trying to cut weight, right, and increase efficiency. Like they're pushing the limits on technology for batteries, and so every point along the way is very important. So these are the pure silver nickel. Pure silver rounds, and they were numbered. There's only 100 of them made. It's Beaver Bullion.
What the hell they got out?
That's funny. I got the magnifying glass out. I think it only magnifies about 2 times. Yeah, I don't know what happened to 79. I thought she was going to be here. Hey, Brent, welcome in. We've got Brent Martin in the house. We already covered all of my thoughts and Nichols and Neil's thoughts and opinions on the silver market. And we're just kind of shutting this down with this outro now of some of these silver rounds that I got. Because we're looking at the price of nickel as well, thinking it might be a good opportunity.
And then who'd you say made those again?
Beaver Bullion.
Okay.
Right there. Beaver Bullion. Truly Canadian. Okay, so this was the other thing we were looking at too here. We compared, just want to make sure that's showing up. Let's do this right. There. So here we've got, it's not the candles, it's just the mountain. But we've got silver as the blue, gold is the yellow, and platinum is the green. Going back to 2019, we should actually do 2020 because that was really the bottom.
Yeah, there. If you get that picture I put in there, that's the silver quarters I'm betting on right now.
Okay, hold on.
Yep. 17.
Hold on.
And I bid maximum 350 on that. And that was back, I was basing it on what they were worth.
So what is it?
They're silver quarters.
They're all 90%. Are they like uncirculated or are they circulated?
I don't think any's that good a shape. I think they're mostly circulated. 1950s. And
someone took care of them for the last little while though, right? They're all in the...
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. These two down here, they look pretty good in the bottom corner, but...
Mm-hmm. Hey, Count Trumpula, good to see you. Okay, so let's highlight this one more time before we shut this down. We've been live streaming for quite a while. I wanted to show the 1 month candles because on silver, when you look at this, and it's the same as in the thumbnail of this very live stream, we've got 9 green candles back to back. Monthly candles starting May of 2025 until now. And maybe there's something not quite right there, but it looks to me like it's all higher lows and higher highs. And so when I look at what's happened in the last week is we broke through $100 an ounce, broke through $120 an ounce, and they knocked it back down to a low of 71. Okay. It's already recovered back to 85. So I see a lot of spring-loaded pressure in here. What do you think, Nickel?
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to bounce back, and it'll get back to about where it was, I think. I think there'll be more attempts to knock it down again. I think because the banks are under a lot of pressure.
Silver puts pressure on the banks, so I think that's why.
Hold on, I thought I was sharing that screen and it wasn't sharing it. Wow, what's going on here? Weird. Okay, so there it is. 9 months. Higher lows and higher highs.
But the only problem you got with lowering the interest rates to zero, yes, it will cost activity in the economy. And it'll make houses cheaper to try to buy. Well, it'll make the initial process easier to buy, but inflation will skyrocket. You think food prices are high now, it'll go nuts, and everything will. Metals will go up, anything physical will go up, but it will be serious inflation if they do that.
That's right, because inflation is not the increase of prices. Inflation is the increase of money supply and credit, and that's exactly what that is, right? As you lower the interest rates, it frees up the money supply and credit, and creates and is the inflation which creates the higher prices. I think so.
Yeah, but will it help create jobs? That's the big factor.
The number one thing that's going to create jobs is industry and entrepreneurs. In my opinion, like I know right now, a lot of countries have leaned heavily on government employees to create employment, and I think that's the wrong way to go. It's not efficient. Although I can see it's self-serving, right? And it can be good from that perspective. But when it's all government employees, that almost feels like communism to me. Like, to me, if you want free market, you want entrepreneurial spirit, you want free thinkers, people that are creative, that are going to massively change the supply curve for things that are in demand, right? And I just don't see the government doing that regularly. Gerald, wow.
But you can get loans from the government to help business. You can do that. I mean,
sure.
But we'll have to wait and see.
But you know what? You know how I covered that story about the ostrich farm and the devastation that happened there? My understanding is that part of that problem was because the farm signed up with the government for medical research, and that tied them into their rules and regulations and everything else. And so what happened apparently was they what do you call it? They infracted some of the regulations they were supposed to abide by, and that was the basis for.
And they had research that the government wanted control of, and Big Pharma is big in Canada too. And if Big Pharma says, "Hey, take care of that,"
and so the problem was that they didn't stay independent. They signed up with the government and they signed up to the program, And as much as it was enticing and everything else, it's like the snake in the grass that slithers and hisses and then makes you an offer you can't refuse. And then when it burns you, it says, I told you it was a snake.
Big pharma, though, it is a huge problem.
Yeah.
And they don't want medications to go to what is it when they get the next step down and it's cheap. What do you call it? The medicine
Commercialized?
No. It's another term for it.
Generic?
Yeah. They don't want that going to generic because they can make more money if it doesn't. So
this chart on the 1 hour candles looks very, very interesting. With this line of 4 hours in one of these straight lines that we've seen many times before in the past. I think Sunday night Market Watch is going to be very exciting. I hope everyone joins us over at Salivate Metal YouTube channel. My first moderator that can put Salivate Metal's channel link in the chat wins a prize. Any final thoughts, Nickel, before I shut her down?
Nope, I don't guess so.
Okay.
Just figure out what the terms of the bet is and let me know again.
Yeah, okay. We'll try to between Nickel, Neil, and I will try to have a debate. Okay, guys, have a good night. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. Ciao.
Later.